Chapter 1425. Breakthrough. I finally broke through to become a one-star Tao saint. The moment he broke through, Yi Chunfeng opened his tightly shut eyes. His delicate and handsome face revealed a look of intense excitement. He didn't expect to break through to become a one-star Tao saint so easily. He didn't meet any challenges. With my current strength and foundation, I should be able to kill an ordinary Nirvana heavenly realm expert. Feeling that his strength had increased by dozens of times, Yi Chunfeng couldn't wait to test his current combat strength. The second level of the universe realm's spatial restriction had disappeared. Just as Yi Chunfeng was feeling the changes in his cultivation, he unexpectedly felt that the second level of the universe realm's spatial restriction had disappeared. With a thought, he entered the second level of the universe realm's spatial restriction. Double the flow of time after entering the second level of the universe realm's spatial restriction, Yi Chunfeng realized that the spatial flow here was twice as fast as the outside world. This also meant that cultivating in the second level of the universe realm's spatial restriction was twice as fast as an ordinary person. Other than the double flow of time, Yi Chunfeng felt that the defense of the universe realm had increased by another level. A supreme-grade sage treasure wouldn't be able to break through its defense. These were low-grade and middle-grade heaven crystals. Yi Chunfeng released his powerful soul power and covered the second level of the universe realm's spatial restriction. He realized that other than the high-grade heaven spiritual energy, there were many low-grade and middle-grade heaven crystals, as well as many rare heaven domain spiritual items. However, other than these, he didn't find any god-demon relics or high-grade heaven crystals, which was a bit of a pity. With these low-grade and middle-grade heaven crystals, I can use the sword puppet to attack without any worries. Yi Chunfeng did a simple count. He realized that there were more than 10 million low-grade heaven crystals in the second level of the universe realm's spatial restriction. There were also more than 30,000 middle-grade heaven crystals. If he used these heaven crystals to buy treasures in the central world, he would probably be able to buy an entire kingdom. I wonder if I can refine the Demon Emperor's furnace with my current strength? The Demon Emperor's furnace was very important to Yi Chunfeng. If he could open the Demon Emperor's furnace, he would be able to use it to refine the heavenly sage-breaking elixir, which would greatly increase his chances of success. The furnace of the demonic emperor had recognized its master. With a thought, Yi Chunfeng summoned the Demon Emperor's furnace. He bit his finger and dripped a drop of blood essence into the Demon Emperor's furnace. After breaking through to the one-star Tao Saint realm, Yi Chunfeng's blood was even more powerful. It quickly seeped into the demonic Thearka's furnace and established a connection with it. The blood fused with the demonic emperor's furnace. Yi Chunfeng tried to open the demonic emperor's furnace. When he had deduced the three great Tao wills to the extreme, he released powerful Tao power into the demonic emperor's furnace. The tightly shut lid of the demonic emperor's furnace opened, and a terrifying demonic power was released from the furnace. A piercing roar came out from the demon emperor's furnace. The demon emperor's furnace's treasure spirit, the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul, emerged from the demon emperor's furnace and roared at Yi Chunfeng. The power of the universe suppress. Yi Chunfeng smelled a dangerous aura when he saw the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul that was as big as a small mountain, its eyes flashing with a demonic light. He immediately controlled the power of the universe realm to suppress it. Suppressed by the universe realm, the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul immediately released a powerful demonic power to resist. Its huge soul body carried a terrifying power of heaven and earth and rushed at Yi Chunfeng. Chaos divine wood facing the attack of the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul, Yi Chunfeng did not dare to be careless. He decisively summoned the Chaos Divine Wood. The five-colored treetop swayed, and the strongest attack of an upper-grade sacred treasure collided with the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul. The fierce blow forced the Chaos Divine Wood back, but the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul did not continue to attack. It endured the power of the universe that came pressing down and stared at the chaos divine wood and Yi Chunfeng in surprise. Why do you have the chaos divine wood? The purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul suddenly spoke and asked in a deep voice. This chaos divine wood was left to me by my father. Yi Chunfeng did not expect the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul, the treasure spirit of the demonic emperor's furnace, to say the name of the chaos divine wood. You are the son of that god? The purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul widened its eyes and said in disbelief. God, you have seen my father? Hearing the words of the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul, Yi Chunfeng's heart was set off a huge wave. He asked excitedly, Can you tell me who my father is? If you are really the son of that god, I think you will see what he left for you when you go to the abyss of hell. After knowing who he is, the hostility in the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul's eyes decreased greatly. It said in a low voice, Back then, I was only lucky enough to see him once and was saved by him. With his help, I kept this remnant soul and became the treasure spirit of the demonic emperor's furnace. Then can you tell me the secret of the abyss of hell? Yi Chunfeng asked. How did you appear in this realm? There is only one secret of the abyss of hell, and that is related to that god. And the abyss of hell is my tomb. As for why I appeared in this realm, I cannot tell you before I confirm your identity. The purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul said. Well, then I need to borrow the demonic emperor's furnace to make elixirs. Can you help me? Yi Chunfeng looked at the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul. Okay. The purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul wanted to refuse, but thinking that Yi Chunfeng might be the descendant of that great figure, it nodded and agreed. Oh right, the demonic emperor's furnace has recognized you as its owner. These 10 elixirs are yours. As it spoke, 10 golden, longan-sized sacred elixirs with different markings flew out of the demonic emperor's furnace and landed in Yi Chunfeng's hand. What a powerful elixir! What level are these sacred elixirs? Feeling the majestic power of the sacred elixirs in his hand, Yi Chunfeng asked in surprise. These were 2 mid-grade sacred elixirs, the Transcendence Sacred Elixir, and 8 Transformation Sacred Elixirs. The purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul said, With your strength, 1 Transformation Sacred Elixir is enough to break through to the 2-star Dao Saint realm. And the Transcendence Sacred Elixir has a high chance of breaking through to the Dao Saint realm. But whether it is the Transcendence Sacred Elixir or the Transformation Sacred Elixir, each person can only take one. The second one is ineffective. Thank you. Knowing the value of these 10 elixirs, Yi Chunfeng was overjoyed. He immediately sealed them in the jade box. Well, I am going to sleep. Wake me up when you make the elixirs, the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul said. Okay. Yi Chunfeng nodded. He inhaled and exhaled the pure heaven's spiritual qi. He quickly adjusted his breath and adjusted his state. About 6 hours later, Yi Chunfeng adjusted his state to the best. He awakened the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul and took out the main ingredients for the heavenly saint breaking elixir. He threw them into the demon emperor furnace. With the help of the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul, he began to make the heavenly saint breaking elixir. As Yi Chunfeng had guessed, the demon emperor furnace was a supreme-grade sacred treasure. Although with Yi Chunfeng's current strength, he could not use its strongest power, its elixir-making ability was far stronger than the Suzaku furnace. With the help of the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul, Yi Chunfeng only used 3 days to purify all the main ingredients for the heavenly saint breaking elixir and began to make the elixir. 3. I used the demon Dharch cauldron to refine elixirs, and I could actually refine 3 embryonic forms of the heavenly saint breaking elixir. The process of condensing the elixirs was not only surprisingly smooth, but it was also greatly beyond Yi Chunfeng's expectations. He never expected that the demon emperor's furnace would be so powerful that it could actually use 1 set of main ingredients to refine 3 embryonic elixirs. In about 10 days, with the help of the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul, the temperature of the demon emperor furnace increased exponentially, and 3 heavenly saint-breaking elixirs were successfully condensed. Yi Chunfeng was overjoyed. Putting away the 3 heavenly saint-breaking elixirs, Yi Chunfeng rested for half a day and continued to refine the heavenly saint-breaking elixir. Soon, 2 months passed. In these 2 months, Yi Chunfeng did not fail once. He refined all 5 sets of main ingredients and refined 5 sets of heavenly saint-breaking elixir. In addition to the first set of elixir that he refined a total of 18 heavenly saint-breaking elixirs. Looking at the heavenly saint-breaking elixirs of immeasurable value in front of him, Yi Chunfeng felt like he was dreaming. His whole heart was filled with great joy. Please visit the website Yunlai Pavilion or visit the website directly. Mobile reading website, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the bookmark at the bottom to record this reading record. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1426. God, 18, Heavenly Saint Breaking Elixir, Am I Dreaming? Yi Chunfeng was very clear about the value of the Heavenly Saint Breaking Elixir. With these 18 Heavenly Saint Breaking Elixir, Yi Chunfeng could definitely cultivate a terrifying force that could threaten the position of the 3 divine kingdoms. Watermark advertisement test be the way. Do you want to cultivate in the furnace of the Demon Emperor? The purple-eyed profound rhino soul floated out of the furnace of the Demon Emperor and looked at Yi Chunfeng, who controlled the sacred fire and had an unimaginable foundation, and asked in a muffled voice, You want to use the furnace of the Demon Emperor to refine me? Yi Chunfeng understood the meaning of the purple-eyed profound rhino soul and asked, Yes, I feel that there is a lot of medicinal power left in your body. If you can't refine this medicinal power, no matter what kind of elixir you take, you will develop resistance and greatly affect the medicinal power. The purple-eyed profound rhino soul nodded and said, In addition to the powerful alchemy ability, the furnace of the Demon Emperor also has the ability to refine the body. However, the process of refining the body will be very painful, so you better be mentally prepared. It's okay, I can bear the pain. Yi Chunfeng had a strong will and was not afraid of pain. Well, since you want to try, then come in. The purple-eyed profound rhino soul opened the furnace of the Demon Emperor and let Yi Chunfeng jump into the furnace. It lit the furnace fire and used the power of the furnace of the Demon Emperor to refine Yi Chunfeng's body and refine the large amount of medicinal power left in his body. Being refined by the hot flames in the furnace of the Demon Emperor, Yi Chunfeng's body, which was comparable to a quasi-sacred treasure, was constantly being burned and cracked. The burning, extremely hot flames penetrated his cracked skin and kept drilling into his body, making him feel like he would be melted at any time. It was so painful that he wanted to die. Although the pain was so unbearable that Yi Chunfeng's soul was on the verge of collapse, the effect of refining the body was very obvious. A large amount of medicinal dregs were melted by the furnace fire and turned into pure energy that was integrated into the heavens hall meridian. Kid, can you still hold on? The purple-eyed profound rhino soul controlled the furnace fire to burn Yi Chunfeng for more than 2 hours. It was afraid that he would hurt his cultivation foundation and body, so it transmitted a message. It's okay. I can hold on. Yi Chunfeng replied with a trembling voice. He activated the divine 9 transformations over and over again, using the power of the furnace of the Demon Emperor to temper his body and reach the consummate level of the righteous body. Yi Chunfeng endured the torment for nearly a day, refining all the dregs in his body. He also transformed half of the real spirit bead in his shunting meridian, increasing its power continuously. Few after using the furnace of the demon god to temper his body, Yi Chunfeng, who relied on his extraordinary willpower to endure bitterly, did not leave the furnace of the demon god. Instead, he took out a precious body refining spirit item and directly swallowed it. Using the scorching power of the furnace of the demon god, he quickly refined it and continued to break through to the 5th level of the body aura realm. Who would have thought that this child's willpower would be so terrifying? However, the bloodline in his body was different from that of the deities. Could he really be the descendant of a deity? The purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul had been paying attention to Yi Chunfeng in the body refining spirit item. While it admired him, it kept guessing his identity. After another day or so, Yi Chunfeng had completely refined all the body refining spiritual items under the scorching flames of the Demon Emperor's furnace. He had successfully transformed the true spirit pearl in his heaven's hall meridian and cultivated his aura body to the perfection stage. Phew, I finally cultivated the body refining spirit item to the consummate level. Yi Chunfeng, whose flesh was torn open, let out a long sigh of relief and woke up from the painful cultivation. Although the cultivation process was unbearably painful and made him collapse, the effect was very obvious. After cultivating the body refining spirit item to the consummate level, Yi Chunfeng's strength reached 220 million jin. His defense surpassed that of a quasi-sage treasure and reached the level of a low-grade sage treasure. His body was even stronger than an average mid-grade sacred beast. Purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul, let me out. With a thought, Yi Chunfeng made the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul open the lid of the demon god furnace and returned to the 2nd level of the universe realm. With the power of the spiritual bead of life, he quickly recovered from his injuries. Ling Yu and the others are back. While Yi Chunfeng was recovering from his injuries, he felt Ling Yu and the fire Qilin return. They were directly transported to the 2nd level of the universe realm. Xiaohua, why are you here? Looking at the huge fire Qilin burning with sacred flames, the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul emerged from the demon god furnace. It stared at the fire Qilin with its bell-sized eyes and asked in surprise. Black rhinoceros boss looking at the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul floating in midair, the fire Qilin was stunned. It revealed an excited expression and roared loudly. Why? You know each other? Looking at the excited fire Qilin and the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul, Yi Chunfeng asked in surprise. Black rhinoceros boss is the same as me. We are both masters contracted beasts. Back then, Black rhinoceros boss contributed greatly to our escape. The fire Qilin did not hide the identity of the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul and said, Xiaohua, she is, the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul's perception was strong. It noticed the true god bloodline and divine ape bloodline flowing in Ling Yu's body, and quickly asked, Black rhinoceros boss, she is little master. You even carried her back then. Fire Qilin said excitedly. Little master, you found little master. Knowing the identity of Ling Yu, the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul was overjoyed. Oh right, Black rhinoceros boss, where is your body? How did you become an artifact spirit? Fire Qilin asked loudly. It's a long story. The purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul sighed and said, Back then, in order to protect Master's escape, I lured away part of the enemy. But the enemy's strength was too terrifying. I was no match for them and was destroyed. If I hadn't met a god, I would have turned into ashes. So, my father might not be dead? The Ling Yu asked excitedly with a red face. Master's strength is too great. He won't die so easily, the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul said. You guys take your time to reminisce. After knowing the identity of the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul, Yi Chunfeng was completely relieved. With a thought, he came to the longevity stone where Shui Hanyan was sealed. The clothes on Shui Hanyan's body were completely torn apart, revealing her flawless and slender body. A vivid and lifelike phoenix phantom appeared on her body from time to time. At this time, Shui Hanyan and the phoenix blood essence were at the final stage of fusion and were about to be reborn. The phoenix blood essence was indeed powerful. Feeling that Shui Hanyan's vitality had not only recovered, but was also far stronger than before. Her Xian body was also completely activated. Yi Chunfeng sighed with emotion. Heavenly Saint breaking pellet fused. Shui Hanyan had fused with the phoenix's blood essence. Her vitality and blood had reached the peak. When she reached the peak of level 6 Beast Emperor, Yi Chunfeng cracked open the longevity stone and took out a Heavenly Saint breaking pellet. He fused it into Shui Hanyan's body to help her complete the final breakthrough. About 3 days later, a high-pitched bird cry came from Shui Hanyan's body. After fusing with the phoenix blood essence and the Heavenly Saint breaking pellet, she broke through the bottleneck and reached level 1 Dao Saint. Congratulations, Shui Hanyan. You have been reborn and reached level 1 Dao Saint. Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile and said softly as he looked at Shui Hanyan, who slowly opened her eyes. She was completely naked and exuded a charm that could bewitch all living things in her bones. Visit Gathering Cloud Pavilion or visit the website directly. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click the Save button at the bottom to record this reading. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1427. Qing Feng, thank you for everything you've done for me. Although Shui Hanyan seemed to be asleep, her mind was clear. She remembered everything that Yi Chunfeng had done for her. Watermark advertisement test. As long as you're fine, everything is worth it. Yi Chunfeng looked at her new body. Her skin was even more delicate, and her long black hair draped over her shoulders. Her charming face was like a cross between a fairy and a demoness. She was so beautiful that ripples appeared in his heart. Qing Feng, there's no one else here, right? Shui Hanyan walked out of the life stone without any protection. She looked at Yi Chunfeng affectionately and asked, "No." Yi Chunfeng shook his head. As soon as he said that, Shui Hanyan threw herself into Yi Chunfeng's arms. Her smooth jade body hooked around his neck as she kissed him hard on the lip. With the warm jade in his arms and the delicate fragrance wafting into his nose, Yi Chunfeng lost control of his mind at this moment. After a while, the two people's bodies merged perfectly like two agile snakes. Shui Hanyan twisted her slender waist crazily, matching with Yi Chunfeng, playing a mesmerizing and irresistible melody. Screech. Yi Chunfeng had the bloodline of a true dragon, while Shui Hanyan had the bloodline of a phoenix. When the two of them merged together, their bloodlines also merged. Coupled with the nourishment of their profound physiques, the two of them not only created waves of boiling points, but also nourished their bodies through the harmony of yin and yang, causing them to completely lose themselves. The two of them forgot time and place as they continued to climb to the peak. Only when the two of them ran out of strength did they fall into a soft bed made of spiritual qi and fall asleep in each other's arms. Mid-1-star Dao Saint realm. After sleeping for several hours, Yi Chunfeng woke up. He was surprised to find that after dual cultivating with Shui Hanyan, his cultivation level had increased tremendously. He had reached the middle stage of the 1-star Dao Saint realm. He had never expected to increase his strength so quickly. Shui Hanyan's soft body and intoxicating feeling made him even more captivated. Days passed. After his strength increased, Yi Chunfeng began to sweep through the ancient medicinal garden. He moved all the ancient spiritual herbs in the ancient medicinal garden into the universe mirror. Through the continuous dual cultivation with Shui Hanyan, their strength continued to rise. Soon, another year had passed. During this year, the spiritual fish consumed the Heavenly Saint breaking pill and easily broke through to the 1-star Dao Saint realm. Song Kuan Wu, Lei Yi, and the rest had found many opportunities in the ancient herb garden. Their strength had increased tremendously, and they had all cultivated to the limit of their cultivation base. The Space Devourer bug had absorbed a large amount of Saint Beast blood essence, and naturally broke through to the 9th level of Heavenly Beasts, reaching the 1st level of Saint Beast, gaining an even stronger space devourer ability. As for Yi Qinfeng, his strength did not improve much in this 1 year, but he had cultivated the spatial laws to the 2nd level and grasped the spatial fold. Senior Tsang, Lei Yi, it is very difficult for you to increase your strength in the Duhan continent. However, I have a way to help you improve. However, after you break through to the next level, you will have to face the terrifying heavenly punishment. If you are unable to overcome it, you will be annihilated. Are you willing to take the risk? Yi Qinfeng asked Song Kuan Wu and Lei Yi, who had cultivated to the limit of their cultivation base. Yes. Song Kuan Wu and Lei Yi's eyes lit up, and they said without hesitation, "This is the Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill and the Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill. After you break through to the next level, we will leave this place." After staying in the ancient herb garden for more than 3 years, Yi Qinfeng felt that the ancient great demon saint should have left this place. He was ready to leave this place and head to the abyss of hell in the eastern continent to unravel the mystery of his origin. "Thank you." After receiving the 2 saint pills of immeasurable value, Song Kuan Wu and Lei Yi revealed a look of excitement. They adjusted themselves to their best state before swallowing the 2 saint pills and going all out to break through to a higher level. Spiritual fish, Yener, do you want to break through to the 2nd star Dao Saint realm? Thinking about the foundation of the kingdom of gods, Yi Qinfeng decided to take the risk and continue to increase his strength. Yes. Spiritual fish and Shui Hanyan said at the same time. "Then I will give you the Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill and the Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill. After refining them, you should be able to break through the shackles of your cultivation base and reach the 2nd star Dao Saint realm." After speaking, Yi Qinfeng gave the spiritual fish and Shui Hanyan a Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill and a Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill respectively, allowing them to continue breaking through to the next level. While the 2 of them were cultivating, Yi Qinfeng didn't consume the Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill. Instead, he took out the Water Emperor fruit and prepared to make use of the strong spirituality of the Water Emperor fruit to break through to the 2nd star Dao Saint realm to deal with more terrifying threat. Just as Yi Qinfeng was trying to break through to the 2nd star Dao Saint realm, the Phoenix blood Ganoderma, which had absorbed a large amount of 10,000 years spiritual milk, suddenly flew to Shui Hanyan's side. It transformed into a fire phoenix and danced around her. "Phoenix blood Ganoderma, do you want to follow Yen? Seeing the Phoenix blood Ganoderma's actions, Yi Qinfeng guessed that the Phoenix blood Ganoderma was attracted by Shui Hanyan's Phoenix bloodline. "And is that okay?" The fire phoenix that was transformed from the Phoenix blood Ganoderma nodded and spoke in the human language. "Sure, you can follow Yen from now on." Thinking about the strength of the Phoenix blood Ganoderma, with it protecting Shui Hanyan, the number of people in the central world who could harm her could be counted with one's fingers. Water Emperor fruit refine. After giving the Phoenix blood Ganoderma to Shui Hanyan, Yi Qinfeng swallowed the Water Emperor fruit and a Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill. He circulated the soul-devouring art and quickly refined the boundless spirituality of the Water Emperor fruit to break through to the 2nd star Dao Saint realm. During the days of dual cultivation with Shui Hanyan, Yi Qinfeng's strength increased tremendously and reached the peak of the 1-star Dao Saint realm. After consuming the Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill and the Water Emperor fruit, the Dao energy in his body immediately reached saturation. The Dao energy in his body continued to increase and his strength increased rapidly. After 23 days, a powerful energy spread out from Lei Yi's body. After refining the Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill and the Heavenly Saint Breaking Pill, Lei Yi successfully broke through the limits of the central world and reached the 4-star Dao Saint realm. He grasped even more power. Not long after Lei Yi broke through, Song Kunwa's strength also experienced a qualitative leap. He broke through the 4-star Dao Saint realm and broke through to the 5-star Dao Saint realm. A series of ear-piercing bird cries could be heard. Under the nourishment of the Phoenix blood Ganoderma, Shui Hanyan broke through the bottleneck of Yi Qinfeng's spiritual fish and reached the two-star Tao Saint realm. Soon, the spiritual fish completely refined the two divine elixirs and strengthened the power of the two bloodlines. Her cultivation also increased, and she broke through to the two-star Tao Saint realm. At this moment, other than Yi Qinfeng, everyone else had broken through to the next realm. As Yi Qinfeng's foundation was too deep, the energy required to break through was too great. One water emperor fruit was not enough for him to break through to the two-star Tao Saint realm. After refining the first water emperor fruit, he was on the verge of breaking through. He consumed the second water emperor fruit and refined the spirituality of the water emperor fruit to continue to break through to the two-star Tao Saint realm. Finally, under his tireless efforts, he completely refined the second water emperor fruit and broke through the bottleneck of the next realm to reach the two-star Tao Saint realm. The moment he broke through to the next realm, Yi Qinfeng felt that his strength had undergone a qualitative leap. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng felt that if he did not use his trump cards, he would definitely be able to fight against a Nirvana Heavenly Realm expert. If he used the Heaven-Suppressing Pearl and the Sacred Blood Pearl, he would definitely have the chance to kill a Nirvana Heavenly Realm expert. Phew, I've finally broken through. It's time to leave. Yi Qinfeng stabilized his cultivation and left the universe realm. He rode on the fire Qilin, which was close to the limit of a middle-grade sacred beast, and rushed towards the entrance of the ancient medicinal garden. He left the ancient medicinal garden and returned to the mysterious sea. I wish all my friends a happy new year. Be happy forever. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1428. Boom. Yi Qinfeng rode the fire Qilin and left the ancient herb garden. Immediately, dark clouds appeared in the sky above the mysterious ocean. They gathered from all directions and covered the sun. Through the tens of thousands of meters deep sea, they locked onto Yi Qinfeng. The heaven's punishment had come. Feeling the heaven's punishment, Yi Qinfeng could not help but show a serious expression. He could feel that the heaven's punishment was not to be underestimated. Riding the fire Qilin, he quickly flew to the top of the trench, preparing to find a spacious place to undergo the heaven's punishment. The power of the heaven's punishment. Did he come out? All of a sudden, the ancient devilish holy being that had been hiding in the mysterious sea all this time suddenly opened his eyes before disappearing in a flash. You finally came out. When the ancient demon saint radiated his powerful soul power, he locked onto Yi Qinfeng and the fire Qilin, who were flying at high speed. His deep eyes shot out a thick murderous aura. He cut through the cold sea water and tried to stop them. The ancient demon saint did not leave. He had been waiting in the mysterious ocean. Just when Yi Qinfeng and the fire Qilin were looking for a place to undergo the heaven's punishment, Yi Qinfeng's powerful soul power sensed the ancient demon saint's aura. His face suddenly changed. However, thinking about the heaven's punishment that was about to descend, Yi Qinfeng's heart moved. He thought of a risky plan to eliminate the ancient demon saint. Riding the fire Qilin, he quickly flew to the mysterious ocean. Kid, where are you going? Relying on his absolute speed, the ancient demon saint quickly approached Yi Qinfeng and the fire Qilin. He threw out a palm strike from a distance. The terrifying palm light tore apart layers of seawater, covering nearly 1 mile of sea area. He wanted to kill Yi Qinfeng and the fire Qilin. Black Dragon Sword Yi Qinfeng used his dragon's pine sword to block the attack. The terrifying sword intent turned into a black dragon, cutting through all the spells. It slashed at the huge palm that was collapsing the space around it, forcefully weakening the power of the palm. Yi Qinfeng's sword intent turned into a black dragon, cutting through all the spells. It slashed at the huge palm that was collapsing the space around it, forcefully weakening its power. Boom! A deafening explosion sounded in the violently fluctuating seawater. The two holy skills clashed for 3 breaths, and Yi Chunfeng's black dragon of extinction shattered. The fire Qilin seized the opportunity when the black dragon of absolutes was blocking it and flew thousands of meters away. It kept getting closer to the surface of the sea where huge waves were surging. Rumble sensing that Yi Chunfeng's aura was getting closer and closer, an earth-shaking rumble of thunder rang out from the violently rolling tribulation clouds. The frightening rumble spread to a distance of several thousand miles, frightening all the demon beasts in the ocean and making them flee for their lives. A 2-star Dao Saint. How is that possible? How did he manage to break through to the 2-star Dao Saint realm in just 3 short years? What kind of fortuitous encounter did he get in this ocean region? Relying on his absolute speed to close the distance between him and Yi Chunfeng, the ancient devil saint's heart was in turmoil. He couldn't believe that Yi Chunfeng had actually broken through the shackles of cultivation in such a short period of time. This kid is definitely hiding a huge secret. Thinking of this, the ancient devil saint's killing intent became even more intense. He continued to increase his speed, determined to kill Yi Chunfeng and obtain the shocking secret on him. Great soul chasing hand. As he got closer and closer to Yi Chunfeng and the fire Qilin, a monstrous demonic aura surged from the ancient devil saint's body. It transformed into a huge soul-chasing hand and attacked Yi Chunfeng and the fire Qilin at a speed faster than the speed of light. Spatial folds. As the great soul-chasing hand attacked, Yi Chunfeng immediately used the laws of space to continuously fold space, controlling the power of space to block the attack of the great soul-chasing hand. However, the ancient devil saint's strength was too terrifying. Yi Chunfeng's folded space couldn't block it at all, and the great soul-chasing hand continued to penetrate through it. Senior Tsang Lei Yi, quickly come out. Seeing that the great soul-chasing hand was about to attack Yi Chunfeng, he summoned Song Kunwu and Lei Yi. Combining their strength, they resisted the attack of the great soul-chasing hand. Boom, 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 boom. 4 deafening explosions rang out. Yi Chunfeng combined the strength of Song Kunwu, Lei Yi, and the fire Qilin to forcefully destroy the great soul-chasing hand, breaking the killing move of the ancient devil saint. What kind of fortuitous encounter did the 4-star Dao sages and 5-star Dao sages discover? Sensing the strength of Song Kunwu and Lei Yi, the ancient devil saint was even more shocked. Boom! With the appearance of Song Kunwu and Lei Yi, the power of the tribulation clouds in the sky was like a tide that broke through a dam. Boundless pressure surged down from the tribulation clouds, crushing a large area of space and locking onto Yi Chunfeng and the rest. Heaven's punishment. The ancient devil saint who was chasing after Yi Chunfeng and the others also sensed the danger from the rumbling tribulation clouds. However, the secrets on Yi Chunfeng and the others were deeply attracted to him, causing him to spare no effort to chase after them. He wanted to kill Yi Chunfeng and the others before the heaven's punishment descended. However, Yi Chunfeng, Lei Yi and the fire Qilin's attacks were too powerful. Furthermore, they had top-grade saint artifacts in their hands. They constantly countered his attacks and slowed down the time, creating a huge pressure on him. As the rumbling of thunder in the tribulation clouds grew louder and louder, it was about to pierce through the surface of the sea. 4,000 Qingfeng felt that the heaven's punishment was about to descend, and he suddenly gave up on running. He sent the fire Qilin into the universe realm and summoned the chaos divine beasts, the golden clear dragon blood lion, the spirit fish and Shui Hanyan. Sensing the aura of the 2 saint beasts, the spirit fish and Shui Hanyan, the heaven's punishment that was about to descend became even more powerful. The terrifying power in the tribulation clouds seemed to want to destroy this world and all living beings. 1,000 layers precipice formation. Forbidden. The ancient devil saint sensed the strong threat of death in the tribulation clouds and wanted to give up chasing after Yi Chunfeng and the others. When he dodged to the outside of the tribulation area, Yi Chunfeng summoned the Thousand Layers Precipice formation and directly trapped the ancient devil saint in the formation, not giving him a chance to escape. True demonic hand, break. Trapped by the Thousand Layers Precipice formation, the ancient devil saint felt deeply uneasy. He decisively summoned the top-grade saint artifact, True Demonic Hand, and attacked the Thousand Layers Precipice formation, wanting to tear the formation apart and leave by force. Boom! The Thousand Layers Precipice formation was attacked by the True Demonic Hand and immediately cracked. However, the True Demonic Hand did not break through. Just as the ancient devil saint continued to attack, Yi Chunfeng summoned the Demon Emperor's Furnace, which was also a top-grade saint artifact. With the terrifying power of suppression and flame, it bombarded the ancient devil saint, not giving him a chance to continue attacking the Thousand Layers Precipice formation. Ancient devil saint, enjoy the baptism of heaven's punishment with us. When the Demon Emperor's Furnace suppressed the ancient devil saint with all its strength, its power increased exponentially. The heaven's punishment, which was filled with the power of the world, turned into thousands of thunderbolts, pouring down like a heavenly river, shattering a large area of space and bombarding Yi Chunfeng and the others. Because the ancient devil saint was the strongest, he had to bear the most terrible baptism of heaven's punishment in the tribulation area. The terrible heaven's punishment of the world brought him a deep threat of death. Boom! The heaven's punishment of the world fell and instantly broke through the Thousand Layers Precipice formation, annihilated Yi Chunfeng and the others, and crazily destroyed their bodies. At this moment, the seawater in a radius of several miles completely evaporated and collapsed. The whole world seemed to have come to an end, and there was no light. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1429. Just you wait, I will destroy you sooner or later. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. Although the ancient devil sage was strong, the might of the heavenly tribulation that Yi Chunfeng and the others had summoned was too terrifying. Facing it alone, the ancient devil sage's defenses were constantly being broken, and he had no choice but to force his way out. No need to wait, let's fight to the death today. Yi Chunfeng, who had raised his defense to the highest level, roared. His entire body was like a sword of light that could slash the heavens and split the earth. He forcefully broke through the world of heavenly punishment and attacked the ancient devil sage, not giving him a chance to escape. F***ck, you are crazy. When the ancient devil saint saw that Yi Chunfeng ignored the world's heavenly punishment and insisted on attacking him, he was furious. He gritted his teeth and endured the world's heavenly punishment. He controlled the supreme grade saint treasure, the hand of the true devil, to attack Yi Chunfeng, wanting to kill him. Sword puppet. The true demon hand's attack was too terrifying. Even a mid-grade saint treasure could not withstand it. Yi Chunfeng did not dare to take it head-on, so he summoned the sword puppet and used its indestructible body to take on the true demon hand head-on. Boom! The sword puppet was sent flying by the true demon hand's fatal attack, and the energy in its body was quickly consumed. Chaos Divine Wood attack. While the sword puppet was resisting the true demon hand's attack, Yi Chunfeng summoned his natal treasure, the Chaos Divine Wood. It swayed with the light of the 5 elements, shattering the heavenly punishment, and attacked the ancient demon saint at close range. Although the ancient great demon saint had sensed danger from the Chaos Divine Wood, he had been baptized by the heavenly punishment of the world. His mobility was greatly restricted, and he could not dodge the Chaos Divine Wood at all. He could only control the true demon hand and hastily face the attack. Gujianga, Heart of Sword Bright Moon. The Chaos Divine Wood and the true demon hand clashed, creating endless energy ripples. At this moment, Yi Chunfeng ignited his divine demon bloodline, increasing his strength by 3 times. His physical strength increased to 700 million pounds, and he forcefully shattered the heavenly punishment's baptism. He held the dragon spine saint's sword and slashed at the ancient demon saint with the ultimate sword that contained the sound of Tao. Break for me. Even though he was in danger, the ancient demon saint didn't panic. 3 spirit-level Tao diagrams appeared around his body, turning into a heavy hammer that blocked Yi Qinfeng's sword strike that was like the sun and moon hanging high in the sky. After the first sword strike, Yi Qinfeng endured the baptism of the heavenly punishment and continued to attack the ancient demon saint. He tried his best to keep the ancient demon saint busy, not giving him a chance to escape. While Yi Qinfeng was fighting with the ancient devil saint, Song Kuan-Wu and Lei Yi relied on their absolute strength to tear apart the heavenly punishment that was bombarding them. They took the risk to approach the ancient devil saint with their saint artifacts and launched fatal attacks at him. Die, all of you! Baki Genjutsu. As the injuries on his body worsened, the ancient devil saint unleashed his ultimate move. Instantly, 8 phantoms appeared, erupting with a world-shaking destructive power. They sealed off all directions, manifesting a Tao will that struck fear into the hearts of everyone as they launched a fatal attack on Yi Qinfeng and the other 2. Sword Puppet. Defend. At the critical moment, Yi Qinfeng once again controlled the sword puppet to block in front of him, blocking the ancient devil saint's Baki Genjutsu attack. As for Song Kuan-Wu and Lei Yi, they also relied on their absolute strength and mid-grade saint artifacts to block the continuous attacks of the Baki Genjutsu. Hand of the True Demon, destroy heaven and earth. The Baki Genjutsu was blocked by Yi Qinfeng and the others. The ancient devil saint continued to activate the Hand of the True Demon, forming a series of terrifyingly powerful palm prints that released destructive power that suppressed Yi Qinfeng and the others. Furnace of the Demon Emperor, defend. The Hand of the True Demon was too terrifying. Even with Yi Qinfeng's current strength, he didn't dare to face it head-on. He decisively awakened the purple-eyed mystic rhinoceros soul and let it control the furnace of the Demon Emperor to defend with all its strength. Boom! Boom! A series of deafening explosions rang out as the True Demon's hand continued to imprint on the demonic Emperor's furnace. The demonic Emperor's furnace trembled as a large number of fish patterns emerged from the demonic Emperor's furnace, constantly tearing apart the fragile space. Tian Tsang Art Song Kuan-Wu took a deep breath and endured the world's heavenly punishment. He cast the Tian Tsang Palace's inherited mystique and activated his Tao concept. It was like a light curtain that swept across the 9 heavens and earth, bombarding the ancient devil saint's body. Song Kuan-Wu's strength was only 1 realm lower than the ancient devil saint. After being attacked by Song Kuan-Wu's Tian Tsang Art, the injuries on the ancient devil saint's body continued to worsen. He could only divert his attention to defend himself. Ghost King's lightning region. While the ancient demon saint was defending against Song Kuan-Wu's attack with all his might, Lei Yi, who was riddled with wounds, had also unleashed his strongest attack. The Tao will that he had deduced to the extreme turned into a dark lightning domain, and together with the heavenly punishment of the world, they bombarded the ancient demon saint's body, tearing apart his defense and shattering his body. Black hole break. As his injuries continued to worsen, the ancient devil saint deduced the power of the spirit-grade Tao diagrams to the extreme. He transformed into a terrifying black hole that devoured everything. He kept on crushing the attacks of Yi Qinfeng and the others and continued to devour him. Seeing that the black hole of the ancient devil saint was about to devour Yi Qinfeng, who was constantly being attacked by the world's heavenly punishment, Yi Qinfeng summoned the 9-dragon jade annulus and launched a fatal attack at the ancient devil saint. After breaking through to the realm of a 2-star Tao saint, Yi Qinfeng no longer found it strenuous to control the 9-dragon jade annulus. When he fused his majestic Tao force and the 3 spirit-grade Tao diagrams into the 9-dragon jade annulus, loud dragon roars could be heard. 5 deadly dragons with the power to destroy everything slammed into the black hole of the ancient devil saint. The terrifying power of the 9-dragon jade annulus shattered the black hole and continued to shatter the ancient devil saint's body. He was forced to retreat continuously. Blood spurted out of his mouth as he was devoured by the world's heavenly punishment. When the ancient devil saint used his absolute strength to tear apart the heavenly punishment that engulfed him, Yi Chunfeng controlled the chaos divine wood with his will and ruthlessly whipped the ancient devil saint's body, sending him flying. The ancient devil saint's chest that was struck by the chaos divine wood had caved in deeply. This ancient devil saint shall remember this enmity and return it 100-fold in the future. The ancient devil saint's injuries gradually worsened. After being baptized by the world's heavenly punishment, he knew that if he continued to fight, even if he could kill Yi Chunfeng and the others, he would most likely die here. He had no choice but to use his life-saving trump card to forcefully escape. Chaos Divine Wood, Root Prison. Seeing that the ancient devil saint was trying to escape, Yi Chunfeng, who had been severely injured by the world's heavenly punishment, ignored his injuries and controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to extend tens of thousands of 5-colored roots, trying to trap the ancient devil saint here. However, the ancient devil saint was a 6-star devil saint after all. His strength was far beyond Yi Chunfeng and the others. Before the Chaos Divine Wood could form the root prison, he burned his powerful blood energy and used blood escape, which was extremely harmful to his body, to break through the defense line of Yi Chunfeng and the others. Under the indiscriminate bombardment of the world's heavenly punishment, he escaped at an extremely fast speed. The ancient devil saint was indeed not easy to kill. Looking at the ancient devil saint escaping, Yi Chunfeng, who had been baptized by the world's heavenly punishment, could not chase after him. He could only watch as the ancient devil saint escaped. He summoned back the demon emperor's furnace and quickly came to Shui Hanyan and the spiritual fish, who were under great pressure. He resisted the baptism of the world's heavenly punishment together with them and tempered his body. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1430. Everyone, don't hold back. Show us all your strength. As long as we work together, we will definitely survive this heavenly punishment. Although the heavenly punishment contained terrifying world energy, Yi Chunfeng and the others had extraordinary foundations. Their strength was much higher than those of the same realm. In addition, they had powerful treasures to protect their bodies. They worked together and intertwined the Tao diagrams to form a sea of Tao intent, completely resisting the heavenly punishment. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. Under the world energy's baptism, Yi Chunfeng and the others became even more refined. Their comprehension of Tao intent was also constantly deepening. About 12 hours later, the heavenly punishment that had been pouring down and destroying the sea of mystery finally disappeared. Working together to resist the world energy's baptism, Yi Chunfeng and the others suffered heavy injuries. Especially Yi Chunfeng, Lei Yi and Song Kuan Wu, who had tried their best to kill the ancient devil sage. Their injuries were even more serious. Many of their bones were exposed, and the Tao energy in their bodies was obviously exhausted. Blood Ginseng King, recover! Before the second heavenly punishment descended, Yi Chunfeng took out a Blood Ginseng King that was more than 1,000,000 years old and had a strong recovery ability. He spat out the heaven-burning sacred flame and melted it, refining a large amount of pure spiritual liquid. He merged it into the bodies of everyone and the 2 saint beasts, accelerating their recovery speed and replenishing their Tao energy. What was that? Just as everyone was quickly refining the Blood Ginseng King's juice and recovering from their injuries, a large number of figures appeared in the violently tumbling tribulation clouds. A terrifying murderous aura spread out from the tribulation clouds and swept through the surroundings, making Yi Chunfeng and the others smell a strong sense of danger. Humanoid heavenly punishment. It was actually the most terrifying humanoid heavenly punishment. Looking at the increasingly clear humanoid figures in the tribulation clouds, Yi Chunfeng immediately guessed that what he was about to face would be the most terrifying humanoid heavenly punishment with intelligence. Everyone, don't be distracted. Hurry up and heal your injuries. Only by adjusting ourselves to the best state can we survive this humanoid heavenly punishment, Yi Chunfeng reminded loudly. He merged all the blood ginseng king's juice into everyone's bodies to accelerate their recovery. They had to face the humanoid heavenly punishment that was about to descend. Kill, kill, kill. Suddenly, terrifying sounds of killing resounded through the sky. The second level of heavenly punishment, the humanoid heavenly punishment, descended, bringing with it boundless killing intent and world power as it attacked Yi Chunfeng and the others. Let's go. Looking at the mighty humanoid Tian Fa, who was holding a Tao Will divine weapon in his hand, Yi Chunfeng decisively burned all three of his bloodlines and pushed the three great Tao diagrams to the extreme. Holding the Dragon Spine Sacred Sword and Black Dragon Sacred Sword, he went up to meet the humanoid Tian Fa, who had extremely terrifying offensive power. Boom! When Yi Chunfeng unleashed his full strength and killed a humanoid heavenly punishment with his dual saint swords, he was immediately surrounded by a large number of humanoid heavenly punishments. Streams of terrifying heavenly punishments and Tao Will divine weapons constantly attacked his body, putting his defense to a great test. Tiansong Juwen Kunwu Tsang saw that Yi Chunfeng, who was leading the charge, was surrounded by the humanoid heavenly punishments. He immediately mobilized the power of Azure and controlled the Kunwu realm to charge forward. He relied on his absolute strength to crush the humanoid heavenly punishments and reduce the pressure on Yi Chunfeng. Ling Yu, Yen Lei Yi, the two sacred beasts, don't split up. Use the array to resist the humanoid heavenly punishment. Don't let the formation be broken by the humanoid heavenly punishment. After experiencing the terror of the humanoid heavenly punishment, Yi Chunfeng was afraid that something would happen to Ling Yu and Shui Hanyan. Qingfeng, be careful. Shui Hanyan, who had activated her Taoist physique and burned her phoenix bloodline, replied. She quickly formed a huge formation with the spirit fish and Lei Yi and the two sacred beasts. They deduced the formation intent and used all their strength to resist the attack of the humanoid sky law. Humanoid heavenly punishment, break! When Shui Hanyan, Ling Yu, and the others formed the array to attack, Yi Chunfeng unleashed his strength to the extreme. Relying on his strength that exceeded 700 million jin, he directly crushed the humanoid heavenly punishment. Meanwhile, Song Kunwa's strength was even more terrifying. He executed the firmament art and destroyed everything. He constantly shattered the remaining human-shaped heaven's punishment, turning them into pure Tao patterns that fused into his body, increasing his comprehension of Tao intent. Universe Sword Formation, Sword Tornado. Yi Chunfeng had been killing non-stop for more than 6 hours and felt a little tired. He decisively summoned the 108 Qiankuan swords and merged them with the bronze sword soul, forming a terrifying sword tornado around his body, resisting the attacks of the humanoid sky law that constantly appeared. Let's go, we will kill our way into the tribulation clouds and destroy the heavenly punishment in one fell swoop. Yi Chunfeng and the others fought with the humanoid heavenly punishment for a day. They felt that the heavenly punishment's power was still vigorous in the tribulation clouds. They estimated that they would need another 2 days to pass the heavenly punishment. But he wasn't sure if the ancient devil sage would use these few days to recover from his injuries and make a comeback. Therefore, he decided to take the risk and rush into the tribulation clouds to receive the most basic baptism of the heavenly punishment. Alright. Kunwu Tsang, Shui Hanyan, and the others didn't hesitate and followed closely behind Yi Chunfeng. They burst out with earth-shattering attacks and constantly shattered the humanoid heavenly punishment that descended from the sky. They tore apart the violently rumbling tribulation clouds and rushed in. Boom, boom, boom. Yi Chunfeng and the others rushed into the tribulation clouds and directly detonated the most basic of the tribulation cloud. The golden ocean-like world power instantly engulfed them. Countless humanoid heavenly punishment emerged from the golden ocean-like world and constantly launched the most basic attacks at them. Formation. Facing the heavenly punishment's attacks that were beyond their imagination and suffocating them, Yi Chunfeng and the others didn't retreat. They quickly formed an extremely powerful formation and relied on the power of the formation to resist the world's golden ocean-like world's baptism and the densely packed humanoid heavenly punishment. Under the most basic and direct baptism of the heavenly punishment, Yi Chunfeng and the others' injuries kept on worsening. The Tao intent in their body was getting purer and stronger with the baptism of the world power. Everyone, attack with me and destroy the source of the golden ocean-like world. We'll destroy this heavenly punishment in one fell swoop. While Yi Chunfeng and the others were resisting the golden ocean-like world's baptism, the God-Eater brain was also rapidly deducing. After the God-Eater brain's deductions, Yi Chunfeng discovered the source of the golden ocean-like world's power. He summoned the chaotic divine wood and gathered everyone's power to attack with all their might. Boom, boom. Yi Chunfeng and the others didn't hesitate to use their saint skills. They tore apart the world power and continuously attacked the source of the golden ocean-like world, causing the world power in the tribulation clouds to become chaotic and put them under even greater pressure. However, they didn't slow down their attacks and continued to attack Yi Chunfeng, who was covered in wounds. Finally, after everyone's continuous efforts, the source of the world power was blasted open by their combined efforts. Boom! In the next moment, the golden ocean-like world exploded. A large number of humanoid heavenly punishment were also shattered. The terrifying power directly shattered the space within a radius of dozens of miles and launched the final and most fatal attack at Yi Chunfeng and the others. Everyone, hold on. Faced with the impact of the destructive explosion, Yi Chunfeng and the others gritted their teeth and ignored their injuries. They deduced their Tao intent to the extreme and used all their skills to defend themselves. While they were defending, a large number of Tao patterns fused into their bodies along with the explosion's shockwave and sublimated their understanding of Tao intent. After about 30 breaths, the array diagram formed by Yi Chunfeng and the others shattered. They were directly blasted down from midair by the earth-shattering energy. They fell into the surging waves of the mysterious ocean that were more than 100 meters tall. Mobile reading site, book address. To facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1431. Is everyone alright? Yi Chunfeng endured the injuries on his body and teleported the severely injured Shui Hanyan and the others into the universe realm before asking with concern. We are fine. Don't worry. Shui Hanyan, whose face was pale without a trace of blood, struggled to sit up and replied weakly. Her body was severely injured and covered in blood. Although everyone was severely injured by Tian Fa's self-destruction and their bodies were on the verge of collapse, the benefits they obtained were unimaginable. If they could refine the Tao patterns in their bodies, their comprehension of Tao intent would increase by several levels, and they might even be able to condense a spirit-grade Tao diagram. Everyone should cultivate in the universe realm and try to comprehend the Tao patterns in their bodies as soon as possible. Seeing that Shui Hanyan, Song Kunwu, and the others were not injured, Yi Chunfeng was relieved. He consumed a quasi-sage elixir and left the universe realm with the fire Qilin. He rode on the fire Qilin and flew towards the mysterious sea. In order to avoid being intercepted by the ancient devil sages, Yi Chunfeng rode on the fire Qilin and circled around the mysterious sea. It took him a few days to return to the central world. "Boss, where are we going now?" After witnessing Yi Chunfeng's potential, the fire Qilin, who had obtained a lot of benefits from him, completely approved of him. Even his voice became more polite. "To the sacred fire valley." Although his strength had increased tremendously, Yi Chunfeng still felt that his foundation was not enough to face the ancient devil sages. In order to strengthen his foundation, he was prepared to seize the sacred fire valley's 5 elements sacred fire. "All right." The fire Qilin roared and flew towards the sacred fire valley according to the map of the central world that the God-Eater brain sent into his soul sea. At this moment, the sacred fire valley was celebrating a joyous occasion. An endless stream of guests came to the sacred fire valley to congratulate the sacred fire valley master, Fire Sky Halberd, on breaking through to the Nirvana heavenly realm. The Wind Fire Sect Master and the Scorching Sun Sect Master had arrived. The sacred fire valley was bustling with noise and excitement. There was a festive atmosphere in the sacred fire valley. Many important figures came to congratulate them with lavish gifts. "Congratulations, Fire Valley Master. Congratulations on breaking through to the Nirvana heavenly realm. With you in charge, our Sacred Fire Alliance will become even stronger. Our sects can also bask in your glory. Yes, we will follow your lead in the future." The Wind Fire Sect Master and the Scorching Sun Sect Master came to the newly decorated hall. After putting down the heavy gifts, they congratulated Fire Sky Halberd, who was wearing a dark golden robe, had fiery red hair, and had a stalwart figure. "Haha, the 2 sect leaders are too polite." Fire Sky Halberd seemed to enjoy the feeling of being stared at by countless envious eyes. A faint smile appeared on its fiery red face. King Mawei of the Octahead Kingdom had arrived. Another announcement rang out in the noisy Sky Fire Valley, causing the lively Sacred Fire Valley to quieten down a little. Everyone looked at the man with awe. He was wearing a long robe with a dragon pattern on it, exuding a faint demonic aura, and had a dignified appearance. This man was none other than the Emperor of Orochi, the demonic Might King who wielded monstrous power. "Hee, congratulations, Valley Master Hua. Congratulations on breaking through to the Nirvana heavenly realm." Surrounded by a group of people, the demonic Might King strode in with a smile on his face. Normally, a divine nation would rarely pay attention to a Nirvana heaven realm expert that appeared in a sect. After all, there were quite a number of Nirvana heaven realm experts in a divine nation. However, the Sacred Fire Valley was different from ordinary sects, and the Fire Sky Halberd was an extremely rare sacred master in the central world. Thus, the Octave Divine Nation had no choice but to pay attention to him and send the demonic Might King to congratulate him personally. "Demonic Might King, thank you for coming in person. Please come in." Fire Sky Halberd did not dare to be careless. He slowly stood up and personally invited the demonic Might King into the main hall and arranged for him to sit on the main seat. Not long after the arrival of the demonic Might King, several big shots came to the Sacred Fire Valley to congratulate Fire Sky Halberd. For a moment, Fire Sky Halberd's vanity was greatly satisfied. With a smile on his face, he exchanged greetings with all the big shots. "We came at the right time. It's the big day of the Sacred Fire Sect." Crossing hundreds of thousands of miles, Yi Chunfeng came to the Sacred Fire Valley. Looking at the endless stream of guests who came to congratulate him, he revealed a cold smile. "Boss, should we kill our way in?" Fire Qilin, who was wearing a fiery red robe and had a tall and sturdy body like an iron tower, asked. "No, I want to give Fire Sky Halberd a surprise." Yi Chunfeng shook his head and said, "Let's go. Let's go into the valley to congratulate him." "You too, where are you from?" Looking at Yi Chunfeng, who was wearing a human skin mask, and the tall and sturdy Fire Qilin, who had transformed into a human form, a disciple of the Sacred Fire Valley stopped them and asked politely, "We came to congratulate you because of your reputation." Yi Chenfeng, who was tall and outstanding, said lightly, "Can we go in now?" "Yes, please come in." Thinking that the sacred fire valley was full of masters and that no one would dare to make trouble at this critical moment, the disciple of the sacred fire valley did not suspect anything. He let Yi Chenfeng and Fire Qilin walk into the bustling and jubilant sacred fire valley. Well, an alchemy competition. Walking into the sacred fire valley, Yi Chenfeng found that there were people competing in alchemy in the valley. Someone was even displaying a mysterious fire control technique, which attracted waves of cheers from the crowd. However, Yi Chenfeng did not stop. Along with Fire Qilin, he followed the bustling crowd and came to the overcrowded main hall. King Wang arrived. Just as Yi Chenfeng was about to enter the main hall, he was startled. He looked to the northwest and frowned. Just as he was thinking, a loud voice sounded. Wang, who was wearing a dark golden robe and a towering crown, came to the sacred fire valley accompanied by 4 masters from the 9 heavens' divine kingdom. Seeing Wang arrive, the crowd outside the main hall consciously opened up a path, allowing Wang, who had an arrogant look on his face, to walk into the main hall. "Come on, let's go in." Yi Chenfeng moved his body slightly and walked out of the crowd. He and Fire Qilin followed behind Wang and walked towards the main hall filled with important people. "Stop, who are you?" Looking at the unfamiliar faces of Yi Chenfeng and Fire Qilin, 2 masters from the sacred fire valley immediately stopped them and questioned them in an unfriendly tone. "Who we are is not important. What's important is that we are here to congratulate you with gift," Yi Chenfeng said with his hands behind his back, looking at the 2 masters from the sacred fire valley with fierce eyes. "Leave your names and gifts, then you can leave," the masters from the sacred fire valley ordered coldly. "No, the gifts I brought are too valuable. I have to give them to the fire valley master personally." Yi Chenfeng shook his head and said with a serious expression, The 2 masters from the sacred fire valley frowned slightly and looked at each other. "Take out the gifts you brought. If the gifts you brought are really valuable, we will allow you to enter." The 2 masters from the sacred fire valley communicated with each other and said, "All right." Yi Chenfeng sighed softly and took out a huge bronze bell from the universal mirror. He said loudly, "This is my gift. I am here today to give this bell to the Fire Valley Master." Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1432. Damn it, I think you are tired of living. How dare you make trouble today? The 2 sacred fire valley masters looked at the bronze bell in Yi Chenfeng's hand and their faces changed. They attacked Yi Chenfeng, wanting to injure him and capture him. Watermark advertisement test get lost. Without waiting for the 2 of them to get close, the burly Fire Qilin took a step forward. With one step, it cracked the thick stairs and formed a powerful cyclone. It directly sent the 2 of them flying, and they fell into the noisy main hall. "Who dares to make trouble in my sacred fire valley?" Seeing the 2 sacred fire valley experts vomiting blood and falling into a coma, the 2 Nirvana realm elders of the sacred fire valley, who were Fire Sky Halberd's right-hand men, were instantly enraged. One after another, they attacked Yi Chenfeng and Yi Chenfeng, who had walked in as if no one else was present. Crack! The 2 closed in. Fire Qilin burst out a shocking power, shattering a large area of the ground and sending the 2 Sky Fire Valley elders flying dozens of meters away. It was unknown whether they were dead or alive. "I heard that Valley Master Hua broke through to the Nirvana Heavenly Realm, so I came to congratulate you. However, your 2 watchdogs didn't let us in. We had no choice but to force our way in." Yi Chenfeng raised the huge bronze bell and said, "Valley Master Hua, are you satisfied with my gift?" Bell sending bell. Seeing Yi Chenfeng throw the huge bronze bell on the ground, the entire main hall became silent. Everyone smelled something unusual. Anger appeared in Fire Sky Halberd's deep eyes. His good mood today was gone. What? Valley Master Hua is not satisfied with my gift? Looking at Fire Sky Halberd, whose face was as gloomy as water, Yi Chunfeng smiled and said, "How about this coffin? Is Valley Master Hua satisfied?" As he spoke, Yi Chunfeng took out another coffin and placed it in the Great Hall. The atmosphere in the Great Hall became tense at this moment. "Who are you? Why are you making trouble in my sacred Fire Valley?" Fire Sky Halberd smashed the dragon head armrest and stared at the fearless Yi Chunfeng and Fire Qilin as he shouted loudly. Because he was wary of the Fire Qilin's terrifying battle prowess, he didn't attack blindly. "What? You didn't recognize me?" Yi Chunfeng was the proudest one. Slightly cocking his head, he looked toward Huoling, the saint son of Huoling, who was standing beside Hua Tianji, and said, "Huoling, I wonder if you recognize me? You are Feng Chun." When the flame spirit saint heard Yi Chunfeng deliberately reveal his true voice, an image of a person who brought him endless humiliation and became his inner demon appeared in his mind. "Look at you. You're worse than your son." "He recognized me," Yi Chunfeng said playfully. He took off his human skin mask and revealed his true appearance. "Feng Chun, how dare you appear in public and cause trouble in the sacred Fire Valley?" Demon Might King suddenly stood up from his chair and glared at Yi Chunfeng, the most wanted criminal in Octave Divine Kingdom, as he shouted, "What? Is this place a dragon pool or a tiger's den?" Yi Chunfeng snorted and laughed. "I even dare to push your 8 directions imperial palace, much less this little Xing Huagu. By the way, did you see the ancient demon saint before you came? Did you see him run back to Octave Imperial City like a stray dog?" Demon Might King stared at him and said in disbelief, "You injured the demon saint. If he didn't run fast enough, he would have been a ghost under my sword." Yi Chunfeng said coldly, "Well, if you don't want to die, get out of here. If you don't blame me for killing you and not giving you a chance." "Feng Chen, are you really going to challenge the entire Central World?" Tu Wang, whose eyes were twitching violently, stood up and glared at him. His eyes were filled with anger. "You're wrong. Today, I'm going to sweep through the sacred Fire Valley. Anyone who helps the sacred Fire Valley is my enemy." Yi Chunfeng exuded a domineering aura as he spoke. A power beyond Tu Wang's imagination emanated from his body, enveloping the entire hall. "Nirvana, you have broken through Nirvana." Sensing that Yi Chunfeng's aura was even more terrifying than his, Tu Wang's snow-white eyebrows twitched as he said in shock, "Humph, Nirvana!" Yi Chunfeng snorted and said, "I can kill Nirvana like killing a chicken. Well, I will count to 3. If you don't get out, leave your head behind." As he spoke, the 3 spirit-level Tao diagrams were like 3 rising red suns, emerging from his body and releasing endless Tao intent, shocking everyone present. After the baptism of the heavenly punishment, Yi Chunfeng's 3 spirit-level Tao diagrams were even more powerful. Plus, he had broken through to the 2-star Tao Saint realm, and the soul power in his body had completely transformed into Tao power. At this time, the 3 spirit-level Tao diagrams were even more powerful and could definitely kill Nirvana's powerhouses. Good, Feng Chen, my Octave Imperial City will definitely take revenge." Demon Might King didn't expect Yi Chunfeng's strength to become so terrifying in just a few years. He didn't dare to stay any longer and left after saying a few words. "Others can leave, but you can't." Yi Chunfeng sneered and flew toward Demon Might King, whose face had changed greatly. True demon heaven formula. As Yi Chunfeng attacked, Demon Might King didn't hesitate to burn his powerful bloodline power and condense a towering true demon blood shadow, which was entwined with thick demonic qi. It held a huge demonic weapon and slashed at Yi Chunfeng. Break! Yi Chunfeng's physical strength had exceeded 200 million after cultivating his aura constitution to perfection. With a single punch, the air was instantly compressed and exploded. The punch shattered the demonic weapon that the true demon blood shadow had slashed down. The remaining force of the punch landed on the true demon blood shadow's huge body, causing many bloody wounds to appear on it. In the next moment, the bronze sword spirit flew out of Yi Qinfeng's body like a stream of light and slashed the cracked true demon blood shadow, directly splitting its huge body in half. Protect the Lord. Seeing that Demon Might King was in danger, his 4 powerful subordinates disregarded their own safety and stood in front of him, attacking Yi Qinfeng to buy time for Demon Might King to escape. Humph, you want to stop me? In the face of the killing move launched by the 4 subordinates of Demon Might King, Yi Qinfeng didn't dodge. Relying on his body that was comparable to a low-grade sacred treasure, he shattered the attack and crashed toward the 4 people. Bang bang bunga! As soon as the 4 people's bodies came into contact with Yi Qinfeng, they were immediately shattered by the power of more than 200 million kilograms in his body, turning into 4 clouds of blood mist that drifted away with the wind. Dragon-subduing pillars. Demon Might King didn't expect Yi Qinfeng's strength to be so terrifying that he deduced Tao Will to the extreme and condensed the dragon-subduing pillars to suppress Yi Qinfeng. When the 9 dragon-subduing pillars fell from the sky, Demon Might King unreservedly threw out 2 quasi-sacred treasures and bombarded Yi Qinfeng's head, wanting to injure him in one fell swoop. Divine Demon Bloodline Burn. In the face of Demon Might King's continuous killing moves, Yi Qinfeng transformed into a terrifying divine demon body. While raising the defense of his body to the limit of a low-grade sacred treasure, his physical strength exceeded 700 million kilograms. Bang 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 bang! The moment the dragon-subduing pillars fell, they were immediately shattered by the power that erupted from Yi Qinfeng's body. Yi Qinfeng's hand reached out, shining with Tao Will, and directly grabbed the 2 quasi-sacred treasures that were coming at him at high speed. Crack! Crack! A series of bone-chilling cracking sounds rang out. Under the horrified gaze of the crowd, Yi Qinfeng crushed the 2 quasi-sacred treasures. No. Witnessing this scene, Demon Might King was desperate. Without hesitation, he used the blood escape to escape. But Yi Qinfeng was faster. He threw out a palm print across the air. The rolling Tao Will and power merged together, turning into an invincible giant handprint that smashed directly on Demon Might King's body, smashing his whole body into pieces. Not even his bones were left. Mobile reading home, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Collect button below to record this reading record. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1433. Goo. Everyone was dumbfounded by the scene in front of them. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. They couldn't believe that the Demon Might King, who possessed monstrous authority in the Octave Divine Nation and whose strength was close to the limits of Nirvana, was slapped to death by Yi Qinfeng. Furthermore, his 2 quasi-sage treasures were crushed by Yi Qinfeng like toys. I'll count to 3. Whoever doesn't get lost, I'll kill you. After killing the demonic Might King, Yi Qinfeng slowly turned around and warned in an incomparably tyrannical manner. I'll go, I'll go. After witnessing Yi Qinfeng's invincible strength and ruthless methods, many people were scared out of their wits. They ignored Fire Sky Halberd's persuasion and fled in panic. Even Tu Tianwang, whose expression was uncertain and whose eyes revealed a trace of fear, didn't dare to stay for long. He endured the humiliation in his heart and left dejectedly. Fire Sky Halberd, isn't it time for us to settle the score? Yi Qinfeng said coldly as he looked at Fire Sky Halberd and the other experts of the sacred Fire Valley with beads of sweat on their foreheads. Although Fire Sky Halberd had broken through to the Nirvana heavenly realm after witnessing Yi Qinfeng's strength and methods of killing the Demon Might King, he felt that he was no match for him. Moreover, he smelled an even more terrifying aura from the Fire Qilin. Fengqin, my sacred Fire Valley didn't offend you after the Heavenly Palace's refining competition. Why did you want to kill us? Fire Sky Halberd suppressed the fear in his heart and said angrily, Fire Sky Halberd, before I came here, I really didn't want to eliminate your sacred Fire Valley, but I didn't expect that your sacred Fire Valley would collude with the Phantom Shadow. I think that the fact that I was assassinated time and time again by the Phantom Shadow assassins was also because of your shadow behind it. How powerful was Yi Qinfeng's soul? When he walked into the sacred Fire Valley, he sensed the aura of the Nirvana Heavenly Realm expert who tried to assassinate him. Feng Chen, your perception is not bad. I didn't expect you to find me. Before Fire Sky Halberd could deny it, a black figure appeared outside the sacred fire palace and blocked Yi Qinfeng. If I'm not wrong, you are Yao Yan, Yi Qinfeng said coldly as he looked at the black figure blocking the entrance of the hall. You guessed wrong, I am not Yao Yan, the black figure replied coldly. I don't care who you are. Show yourself today. After breaking through to become a 2-star Dao Saint, Yi Qinfeng no longer feared Yao Yan, who was at the peak of the Nirvana Heavenly Realm. His body flashed slightly as he flew to the front of the black figure using the sword step. He reached out his huge hand that was filled with hundreds of millions of kilograms of strength and grabbed at the black figure. Buzz buzz. When Yi Qinfeng attacked with all his strength, the black figure took a small step back. Several black suns appeared on his body, and like meteors that streaked across space, they collided fiercely with Yi Qinfeng, erupting with world-shaking power. If it was in the past, Yi Qinfeng would definitely be forced back by these black suns. But now, Yi Qinfeng was no longer the same as before. His right hand pierced through the black suns like a hot knife through butter, and under the slightly shocked gaze of the black figure, he bombarded his chest. Boom! The black figure could not dodge in time and was hit by Yi Qinfeng's punch. His entire body trembled slightly, and he took 3 steps back, crushing the hard ground. Yes, a puppet. This person was a puppet. Yi Qinfeng knew the power of his punch. It could even shatter a low-grade sacred weapon, but when it hit the black figure, it could not break his body. Yi Qinfeng guessed that he was not a living person, but a puppet with flesh and blood. It was no different from an ordinary person, and its strength was comparable to a mid-grade sacred treasure. Heavenly Fire Triple Transformation. When Yi Qinfeng was fighting with the black figure, the Fire Sky Halberd immediately used the number 1 magic of the Sacred Fire Valley. It ignited the 3 great flames in its body and increased its strength. It attacked Yi Qinfeng with the treasure of the Sacred Fire Valley, the mid-grade sacred weapon, the sky-breaking halberd. Roar! The Fire Sky Halberd, whose body was covered in flames, slashed through the void with the sky-breaking halberd. The Fire Qilin roared and blocked in front of him, using its mid-grade sacred sword to meet the attack. Boom! The 2 sacred treasures collided, and immediately a shocking force exploded in the void, shattering the restrictions of the hall and shaking the entire hall. Puff! The Fire Sky Halberd used the Heavenly Fire Triple Transformation. Although his strength had reached the limit of the Nirvana Heavenly Realm, he was still far from the Fire Qilin, who was comparable to the limit of a 4-star Divine Saint. After taking the blow head-on, the Fire Sky Halberd's body trembled. A large amount of blood spurted out of his mouth, and his entire body crashed heavily to the ground. After injuring the Fire Sky Halberd with 1 blow, the Fire Qilin wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to attack and capture him. Hiss! Hiss! Suddenly, there was an ear-piercing sound. A red snake that was nearly 100 meters long, with a single horn and fist-sized scales all over its body, leaped up from the ground. It was a low-grade sacred beast. It opened its bloody mouth and bit at the Fire Qilin. Howl! Suddenly attacked by the red snake, the Fire Qilin roared into the sky and transformed into the Qilin's original form. It trampled on the space and faced the sacred beast snake. It sent it flying and shattered its poisonous fangs that were several meters long. The Fire Qilin. Seeing the Fire Qilin transform into its original form, many masters of the Sacred Fire Valley were terrified. Even the Fire Sky Halberd felt deeply uneasy. How dare a low-grade sacred beast sneak attack me? The fire Qilin spoke in human language. With a terrifying impact, it attacked the red snake and continuously launched fatal attack. Under the fire Qilin's ferocious attacks, the scales all over the red snake's body were crushed by the fire Qilin. Its huge body was also riddled with holes by the fire Qilin. Its 10-meter-long tail was bitten off by the fire Qilin. Sun Moon Mountain River Painting Trap. Seeing that the sacred beast of the sacred fire valley was in danger, the fire spirit saint immediately took out the low-grade sacred treasure, Sun Moon Mountain River Painting, wanting to trap the fire Qilin inside. But the fire Qilin's strength was too terrifying. Under the attack of the burning sacred fire, the Sun Moon Mountain River Painting's devouring power kept shattering. It couldn't trap the fire Qilin at all and hurt it at all. Hiss! As the red snake cried in pain, the fire Qilin bit off its 7 inches and swallowed its demon core, heart, and most of its body. Father, what should we do? The fire spirit saint panicked and asked loudly when he saw Yi Chunfeng continuously using his killing moves to suppress the black figure and the fire Qilin swallowing their sacred beast. Let's get out of here first. The situation was completely out of control. Fire Sky Halberd didn't dare to stay any longer and wanted to leave quickly. Roar! Do you think you can run away? The mighty fire Qilin roared and stepped on the void to block the two of them. It launched a ferocious attack on them. 5 elements sacred fire, save me! The fire Qilin's attack was too fierce. Fire Sky Halberd and his son were no match for it at all. They had to ask for help from the 5 elements sacred fire. In the next moment, a slowly blooming lotus formed from 5 colored flames appeared in the hall that was filled with cracks and was about to collapse. When the lotus flower fully bloomed, the rolling 5 elements sacred fire attacked the fire Qilin like an erupting volcano. It blocked its fatal attack and saved Fire Sky Halberd and his son. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the bookmark at the bottom to record this reading record. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1434. 5 Elemental Sacred Fire, you have finally appeared. Looking at the powerful 5 elemental sacred fire that blocked the fire Qilin's killing blow, Yi Chunfeng revealed a satisfied smile. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. If he could subdue it and then subdue another sacred fire, he could use the heavenly fire triple transformation to greatly increase his overall strength and foundation. Alright, I won't play games with you anymore. With that said, Yi Chunfeng summoned his life treasure, the Chaos Divine Wood, and attacked the black figure. The Chaos Divine Wood was connected to Yi Chunfeng's mind and was not restricted in any way. It could completely unleash its strongest power. When the swaying Chaos 5 elemental sacred light hit the black figure, it directly broke through its defenses, smashed its chest, and sent it flying. It was indeed a puppet. Looking at the black figure that had revealed his true form, Yi Chunfeng discovered that his facial features were severely blurred. His flesh and blood were mixed with a large amount of black crystals that looked like fine sand. His chest was even embedded with a shell that looked like a tortoise's shell. His entire person had been modified to look like a machine. And it was this shell and the black sand crystals that greatly increased its defense, allowing it to battle a Nirvana Heavenly Realm powerhouse. The tortoiseshell was smashed by the Chaos Divine Wood, but the terrifying puppet did not retreat. It let out an inhuman scream and burned powerful energy. It held a bone-like spear and attacked Yi Chunfeng. Dragon subduing pillars, the puppet crazily attacked. Yi Chunfeng deduced the 3 spirit-level Dao diagrams to the extreme and condensed 9 dragon subduing pillars. They were like 9 pillars that supported the sky. They smashed the puppet's body one after another, greatly restricting its mobility and attacking its body. When the puppet's legs were smashed into the hard ground by the 9 dragon subduing pillars that descended from the sky, Yi Chunfeng controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to launch a fatal attack. It fiercely smashed into the puppet's cracked chest, sending it flying. Its entire chest caved in. Demon Emperor Furnace shatter. With a thought from Yi Chunfeng, the supreme tier sacred treasure, the furnace of the Demon Emperor, flew out of his body. Under the control of his mind, the furnace of the Demon Emperor burned and smashed into the puppet's body like a volcano. The terrible power shattered the puppet's body. Thump. Seeing Yi Chunfeng shatter the puppet, Fire Sky Halberd's expression changed. He panicked. He wanted to escape with the Fire Spirit Saint's son, while the Five Elements' sacred flame was fighting with the Fire Kylan. Cosmos Sword Formation. Yi Chunfeng took a step forward and tore through the air at an astonishing speed. He brought the 108 Qiankuan swords to block Fire Sky Halberd and the others. Sun Moon Mountain River Map. Being attacked by the Universal Sword Formation, the Fire Spirit Saint's son immediately controlled the Sun and Moon Mountain and River diagram to turn into layers of light. He protected himself from the attack of the Universal Sword Formation. Humph, a mere low-grade holy artifact can't save your life. Yi Chunfeng sneered. His mind controlled the 108 Qiankuan swords to form together. Combined with the bronze sword soul, he unleashed an invincible sword attack. He slashed at the mountain and river diagram that seemed to contain the sun and the moon. He tore through the defense of the mountain and river diagram and attacked the body of the Fire Spirit Saint. Puff, puff. A large amount of sword chi poured into his body. The Fire Spirit Saint was immediately wounded. His armor was severely damaged, and a large amount of blood gushed out from the bloody holes. Fire Sky Halberd saw that the Fire Spirit Saint's life was in danger. He burned all the blood in his body and raised his power to the peak. He slashed at Yi Chunfeng with his mid-grade holy artifact, the sky-breaking halberd. He wanted to force Yi Chunfeng back and create time for the Fire Spirit Saint to escape. Doomsday Natural Disaster. The flaming sky halberd carried with it a shocking killing intent, but Yi Chunfeng didn't retreat. He decisively fused the heaven-suppressing orb and the sacred blood orb, burned his 3 great bloodlines, and derived 3 spirit-level Tao diagrams. He condensed 3 doomsdays that devoured all light and met the attack head-on. Boom, boom, boom. The 3 doomsdays collided with Fire Sky Halberd's sky-breaking halberd and exploded at the same time. The terrifying power blocked Fire Sky Halberd's attack and prevented him from getting close. Wrath of God's punishment. Fire Sky Halberd wasn't afraid of death. He took on the 3 attacks of annihilating heavenly punishment head-on. The 3 holy spirits gushed out of Yi Chunfeng's body. They formed a terrifying power that could change the color of the sky. It swept through the sky like a storm and attacked Fire Sky Halberd. The dual extreme ancient heavenly water had evolved into the everlasting holy water. It greatly increased the attack power of the godly wrath. It was comparable to the strongest mid-grade holy technique. The terrifying explosive power knocked Fire Sky Halberd back dozens of meters. His blood tumbled violently. Fire Spirit, I'll send you on your way first. When Yi Chunfeng used the wrath of God's punishment to force the Fire Sky Halberd back, he stepped on the sword and appeared in front of the Fire Spirit Saint, who was shocked. He used the stun spell and blasted it into his Sea of Soul, slowing down his defense. In the next moment, Yi Chunfeng exploded with more than 700 million pounds of power. He slammed it into Fire Spirit's body. It directly broke through the Sun Moon Mountain River diagram's defense and surged into the Fire Spirit Saint's body. The Fire Spirit Saint spat out blood and howled in pain. Boom! The Fire Spirit Saint couldn't withstand the 700 million pounds of power. His entire body exploded in the air. He turned into a cloud of blood mist and died in the air. Fire Spirit, seeing the Fire Spirit Saint, who was his hope and the continuation of his life, being destroyed by Yi Chunfeng, Fire Sky Halberd's heart shattered. He fell into madness and roared like a trapped beast. He attacked Yi Chunfeng like a madman. He wanted to kill him and avenge the fire spirit saint. Don't rush. It's your turn soon. Yi Qinfeng used his mind to control the Cosmos sword formation to block Fire Sky Halberd's fierce attack. He used his sword steps to break through Fire Sky Halberd's defense and approached him. He exploded with 700 million pounds of power and slammed into him. Boom! When Fire Sky Halberd's sky-breaking halberd collided with Yi Qinfeng's dragon-spined saintly sword, a force beyond his imagination passed into his body. He was forced to retreat, and a large amount of blood kept spurting out of his mouth. After injuring Fire Sky Halberd with one blow, Yi Qinfeng continued to attack. He kept using his killing moves to attack Fire Sky Halberd. He completely suppressed Fire Sky Halberd's offense and forced him to defend desperately. Just when Fire Sky Halberd was in danger and could die in Yi Qinfeng's hands at any time, a blurry shadow swept across the void at an amazing speed. It slashed out a sword and slashed towards Yi Qinfeng, who was fighting with Fire Sky Halberd. Cosmos sword formation block. When Yi Qinfeng sensed the might of this sword, even the void shattered. Yi Qinfeng decisively controlled the Cosmos sword formation to defend against this sword attack that came out of nowhere. However, the Cosmos sword formation actually trembled violently when it met this shocking sword attack. It was obvious that the power of this sword attack was extremely terrifying. It almost exceeded the limits of the Nirvana heavenly realm and posed a certain threat to Yi Qinfeng. In the next moment, this extremely fast shadow descended from the sky and blocked in front of Fire Sky Halberd. It controlled an extremely powerful sword formation made up of 81 quasi-sacred artifact-level ancient swords to attack Yi Qinfeng and fight fiercely with him. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1435. What a powerful attack! Who was this person? Why was his attacking power so powerful? Yi Qinfeng controlled the Cosmos sword formation with his mind and fought several rounds with the mysterious expert who was shrouded in a black robe and whose face could not be seen clearly. However, he was unable to suppress his attacks and revealed a shocked expression. Sword Ocean, the mysterious warrior, suddenly changed his move. The 81 quasi-saint swords kept splitting into sword lights that tore through the void and turned into an endless sword ocean. Each attack was more powerful than the previous one, and it attacked Yi Qinfeng. Dragon subduing pillars facing the incoming sword ocean, Yi Qinfeng formed 9 dragon subduing pillars, which suppressed the void and formed a powerful energy ripple, which weakened the power of the sword ocean. Then, Yi Qinfeng's body, which was comparable to the most powerful low-grade saint artifact, exploded with more than 700 million pounds of power, which crushed the incoming sword ocean. He rushed towards the mysterious warrior and punched towards his chest. With one punch, the space was twisted. The terrifying fist light shattered the space and forcefully interrupted the mysterious warrior's attack, forcing him to take a step back. Stop playing tricks and show your true self. Yi Qinfeng took a step forward, which shattered a large area of the ground. He held the dragon's spine saint's sword and attacked the mysterious warrior like a tidal wave. While attacking, the god-eating brain was deducing. It turned into a powerful sound of Tao, which attacked the mysterious warrior's soul and slowed down his reaction. Thousands of falling leaves taking the attack of the sound of Tao head-on, the mysterious warrior turned his body. The evolved power of Tao turned into countless falling leaves, which cut through Yi Qinfeng's attack and dissolved it. Gu Jianga, Heart of Sword, Bright Moon. As the two of them continuously executed their ultimate killing moves and clashed fiercely, Yi Qinfeng swept across the sky. The sword gleam that was branded with multiplication Tao patterns was mixed with the sound of the great Tao. It was like a bright moon hanging high up in the sky as it ruthlessly slashed down. It forcefully broke apart the 10,000 drifting leaves, and with one slash, it shattered the black robe that was made of special materials and sent him flying. Whoosh! Whoosh! The moment the mysterious warrior was sent flying, he threw out 3 pitch-black crystals, which flew towards Yi Chunfeng. Boom! Boom! 3 deafening explosions rang out. Yi Chunfeng, who was unable to dodge in time, was swallowed up by the explosive power of the 3 black crystals. His body, which was comparable to a low-grade saint artifact, began to show signs of shattering. He had no choice but to hide within the universe mirror. When Yi Chunfeng was forced into the universe realm by the 3 self-exploding stones, the great god's might Fire Qilin suppressed the 5 elements sacred fire and tore it apart time and time again. It damaged its saint body, and made its attacks weaker and weaker. Lei Yi, come with me. Yi Chunfeng lost his patience, and brought the 4-star Tao Saint Lei Yi out of the universe realm, and appeared in the chaotic sacred fire valley. 4-star Tao Saint, sensing Lei Yi's strength, the mysterious expert whose black robe was torn apart revealed a solemn expression. His brows were tightly knitted together. Although his strength was extraordinary and he had reached the peak of the Nirvana heavenly realm, compared to a 4-star Tao Saint, there was still an insurmountable gap in strength. Moreover, Yi Chunfeng was not weaker than him. Qian Yi, it's actually you. Looking at the mysterious man who had an obvious sword wound on his chest that kept bleeding, Lei Yi immediately recognized him. He was one of the top 10 wandering cultivators in the Central World, the strongest in terms of overall strength. Qian Yi. You're the Lei tribe's leader, Lei Yi. Lei Yi recognized Qian Yi, and after Qian Yi repeatedly recognized him, Qian Yi also recognized him and said in surprise, "You actually broke through the limit of the Nirvana heavenly realm and became a 4-star Tao Saint." Qian Yi, it's actually him. Why would he help the sacred fire valley? Could it be that the person behind Phantom is him? Yi Chunfeng revealed a trace of surprise and kept analyzing Qian Ye's motive for rescuing Fire Sky Halberd. He wanted to know if he was directly related to the Phantom Assassin organization. Qian Yi, I lost to you thousands of years ago. Today, let's fight again. Let's see how much you've improved in these thousands of years. With that, Lei Yi held the sacred thunder sword in one hand and the mid-grade sacred treasure Black Crow sacred flag in the other, fiercely attacking Qian Yi. Okay, then let me see how much your strength has increased after breaking through to the 4-star Tao Saint realm. Qian Yi didn't retreat. Instead, he burned his powerful bloodline power and used his last trump card. He condensed 10 hands and fought with Lei Yi. Fire Sky Halberd, who can save you today? While Lei Yi and Qian Yi were fighting intensely, Yi Chunfeng appeared in front of Fire Sky Halberd, who had turned pale with fright, and thrust his sword towards his chest. Heavenly Fire Triple Change on the verge of death. Fire Sky Halberd stimulated his greatest potential and used the Heavenly Fire Triple Change again. He burned his powerful bloodline and raised his strength to the limit to block Yi Chunfeng's fierce attack. Vertigo artist, the two fought fiercely. Yi Chunfeng's 4-star Tao Saint Realm Soul Explosion formed a tide-like attack that blasted into Fire Sky Halberd's Sea of Soul, slowing down his reaction. In the next moment, the bronze sword soul merged into the Dragon's Pine sacred sword. A black dragon-like sword light tore through the void like a spatial crack. It broke through Fire Sky Halberd's body defense and sent him flying. One of his arms was cut off by Yi Chunfeng, and a large amount of blood spurted out. Ah! With his arm cut off, Fire Sky Halberd let out a painful howl. In order to survive, he desperately swallowed all the pills that could increase his strength and fought like a cornered beast. It's useless. Today you will die without a doubt. As he spoke, Yi Chunfeng leaped high into the air and activated the Green Heaven secret art. He transformed into a desolate furnace with innate Tao patterns intertwined. With a force of more than 700 million pounds, he fell like a meteorite and smashed towards the Fire Sky Halberd that was roaring in pain. Yi Chunfeng turned into the desolate furnace of heaven and smashed down. Fire Sky Halberd used his blood as a medium and constantly sent out a powerful palm print to shake the furnace. However, the furnace was too powerful. It also contained over 700 million pounds of strength and 3 spirit-level Tao diagrams. Fire Sky Halberd was seriously injured and couldn't resist it at all. Boom! The desolate furnace of heaven fell, and the terrifying force smashed Fire Sky Halberd's other arm. Fire Sky Halberd was smashed into the hard ground. Large amounts of blood seeped out from the cracks in the ground. Chaos Divine Wood, devour! After severely injuring Fire Sky Halberd, Yi Chunfeng immediately summoned the Chaos Divine Wood. It extended tens of thousands of 5-colored roots and easily devoured the 3 heavenly fires in Fire Sky Halberd. Fire Sky Halberd, you can go to hell to reunite with your son. After devouring Fire Sky Halberd's 3 heavenly fires, Yi Chunfeng raised the Dragon's Pine sacred sword and pierced towards Fire Sky Halberd's cracked head. He wanted to crush Fire Sky Halberd's soul and end his life. Suddenly, a roaring fire dragon descended from the sky and burned everything in the void. It attacked Yi Chunfeng, wanting to force him back and save Fire Sky Halberd, who was hanging by a thread. Wrath of Divine Punishment. Facing the sudden attack of the fire dragon, Yi Chunfeng didn't panic. He didn't try to dodge at all. He controlled the 3 holy spirits to gush out of his body. They turned into a terrifying power of divine punishment and bombarded the fire dragon, directly shattering it. Chi. The fire dragon was shattered by the wrath of divine punishment. The Dragon's Pine sacred sword carried a few 100 million pounds of strength and pierced into Fire Sky Halberd's head. It exploded his head and crushed his soul, sending him to hell. Visit the website, Gathered Cloud Pavilion, or visit the website directly. Mobile reading website, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1436. Sword Steps. After killing Fire Sky Halberd in one strike, Yi Chunfeng flew up using the sword steps, leaving behind afterimages in the air as he rushed towards a thick layer of cloud. Thousands of sword rays intertwined and pierced through the layer of clouds, forcing out a thin old man in a dark red robe with a chiseled face. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. Yao Yan, it really is you. Looking at the old man forced out of the clouds, Yi Chunfeng confirmed many of his earlier speculations. The mastermind behind the assassination attempts on him time and time again was Yao Yan, and he guessed that the people behind the Phantom Assassin organization were Qian Yi, who had just appeared, and Yao Yan. In addition to confirming his earlier speculations, he also unexpectedly felt a familiar aura from Yao Yan. Feng Chen, I really underestimated you. I didn't expect that in just a few years, an ant like you actually broke through to the 2-star Dao Saint realm. I think this should be due to the Heavenly Saint breaking pellet. Yao Yan was not like other people. He could tell that Yi Chunfeng was not a Nirvana expert, but a 2-star Dao Saint even stronger than Nirvana expert. Yao Yan, I also didn't expect that you were not only related to the Phantom Assassin organization, but also the Orochi royal family. Yi Chunfeng coldly replied. Feng Chen, I don't know if you have heard of this saying, smart people usually don't have good endings. Although Lei Yi and Fire Qilin were much stronger than Qian Ye's 5 elements sacred fire, Yao Yan's face did not reveal a trace of panic. It was as if everything was under his control. That was only for the weak. For the strong, the strongest was the absolute truth. Yi Chunfeng tit for tat. Haha, Feng Chen, do you think that with their protection, victory is in your hands? Yao Yan laughed and said, Today I will let you know how stupid your decision to come to the Sacred Fire Valley was. If the ancient demon lord was here, I might have avoided him. But you are still too far away. Yi Chunfeng deliberately made it clear. Well, let's see who gets the last laugh today. When Yao Yan heard Yi Chunfeng mention the ancient demon Exalt, he could not help but frown slightly. He no longer bothered with wasting words with Yi Chunfeng. Instead, he wielded the Black Dawn sacred sword, a high-grade saint artifact covered in ancient runes, and attacked Yi Chunfeng. Bronze Sword Soul, Fuse. Yi Chunfeng had many holy items, but they were all low-grade holy items. They could not be compared to the Black Dawn Holy Sword. To prevent the Dragon Spine Holy Sword from being damaged, he infused the Bronze Sword Spirit into it to increase its power. The Dragon Spine Holy Sword and the Black Dawn Holy Sword clashed against each other, creating ripples of energy. The two terrifying powers clashed against each other, creating a powerful shock wave that went into the bodies of the two fighters, damaging them. And what kind of physique does Yao Yan have? Yi Chunfeng's god-devouring brain appeared. Waves of repulsive force broke through Yao Yan's body and disappeared like a clay ox entering the sea. This caused Yi Chunfeng to reveal an expression of surprise. Break. After dispelling the powerful sword intent released by the Dragon Spine Sacred Sword, Yao Yan let out a roar as a powerful battle intent gushed out from his body, shattering the over 700 million pounds of power within the Dragon Spine Sacred Sword. He forcefully bent the Dragon Spine Sacred Sword, causing Yi Chunfeng's arm to go numb as he retreated step by step. Heaven-suppressing orb, Saint Blood Orb, Fuse. Feeling that Yao Yan's strength was extremely terrifying, several times stronger than Qianye and almost on par with Lei Yi, Yi Chunfeng decisively fused the two holy treasures to increase his strength. With the invincible sword power, he fiercely fought with Yao Yan in the void. Cosmos Sword Formation. Yi Chunfeng and Yao Yan fought intensely for half an incense stick's worth of time. Gradually, he was suppressed by Yao Yan's ferocious attacks. He decisively changed his moves, controlling the sharp Cosmos Sword to form a terrifying sword tornado, tearing apart Yao Yan's attack. Cosmos Sword Formation, Cosmos Strike. After blocking Yao Yan's ferocious attacks, Yi Chunfeng's mind moved, and the 108 Cosmos Swords quickly combined together, bringing along a terrifying momentum of heaven and earth. Terrifying patterns of the great Tao fell as they slashed towards Yao Yan. The terrifying attack forced him to take a step back. 9 Yang Battle Physique, Awaken. Yao Yan took a deep breath and suppressed the surging blood in his body. He stimulated his powerful and mysterious physique, increasing his strength one step further. The terrifying battle physique caused the sky to change color. It also allowed him to surpass the limits of the Nirvana heavenly realm and possess the strength of a 4-star Tao Saint. A 4-star Tao Saint. What kind of secret was hidden in Yao Yan's body? Feeling Yao Yan's strength rising steadily, Yi Chunfeng revealed an extremely shocked expression. He felt that the secret in Yao Yan's body was no small matter. It was highly possible that he was an important chess piece of the ancient demon lord to stir up chaos in the central world. Die. Yao Yan, whose battle intent was soaring, roared and slashed towards Yi Chunfeng with the blackly sacred sword in his hand. Terrifying sword light swept through everything, and the majestic Tao intent made people feel powerless. Extinction Sword, Black Dragon. Yao Yan attacked with shocking killing intent. Yi Chunfeng held the Dragon's Pine sacred sword in his hand and used all his strength to meet the attack. The 3 spirit-grade Tao diagrams transformed into Tao Si and merged with over 700 million kilograms of strength into the Dragon's Pine sacred sword, increasing the strength of the bronze sword soul to the greatest extent. It transformed into a black dragon that evolved the great Tao. It roared wildly as it clashed with the sword light that Yao Yan slashed out. Boom! 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 Loud explosions resounded throughout the sky. When the two attacks collided, it was as if the order of the 6 Taos had collapsed. Sword Puppet Defense. Although Yi Chunfeng's Extinction Sword, Black Dragon, was close to the attack limit, the difference in strength between him and Yao Yan was too great. In less than 3 breaths, his Extinction Sword, Black Dragon, was shattered. He quickly summoned the sword puppet to block in front of him, blocking the attacks of the invincible swords. Chaos Divine Wood, breaking all techniques. Yao Yen relied on his absolute strength to tear through the violent collision storm and approach Yi Chenfeng. When Yi Chenfeng's body emerged from the Chaos Divine Wood, the Chaos Divine Wood swayed and attacked Yao Yen with the Chaos 5 Elements Light, forcing him to retreat. Holy Sovereign Cauldron. After experiencing the attack power of the Chaos Divine Wood, Yao Yen frowned slightly and summoned the mid-grade sacred treasure, Holy Sovereign Cauldron, which turned into a mini-hill and suppressed Yi Chenfeng. Yao Yen, these trump cards of yours are a little too shabby. Yi Chenfeng summoned the supreme-grade sacred treasure, the Demon Emperor Cauldron, to block the attack. He deliberately humiliated Yao Yen, trying to anger him and disturb his mood. Boom! The Demon Emperor Cauldron and Holy Sovereign Cauldron collided in the void like two meteorites. The terrifying power instantly shattered the space within a 1-mile radius. Countless spatial cracks spread in the shattered void. A supreme-grade sacred treasure-level alchemy cauldron. In the head-on collision, Yao Yen was shocked to find that his Holy Sovereign Cauldron was no match for Yi Chenfeng's Demon Emperor Cauldron. He immediately guessed that the Demon Emperor Cauldron was most likely a supreme-grade sacred treasure that was the best in the central world. His deep eyes burst into a fiery color. If he could get this supreme-grade sacred treasure-level Demon Emperor Cauldron, not only would it greatly improve his foundation, but it would also enhance his alchemy ability. Maybe he would have a chance to refine the upper-grade sacred elixir that he dreamed of. This cauldron is really a waste for it to fall into your hands. Just give it to me. As he spoke, the will of Yao Yan's body quickly condensed and turned into a powerful giant hand that covered the sky. It covered the void and grabbed the Demon Emperor Cauldron, trying to take it away. Moo! Suddenly, a beastly roar sounded. The Demon Emperor Cauldron's implement spirit, the purple-eyed black rhinoceros soul, awakened. It controlled the Demon Emperor Cauldron to crash into the giant hand condensed by Yao Yen and broke his attack. Yao Yen, the game is over. The moment the Demon Emperor Cauldron broke Yao Yan's attack, Yi Chenfeng summoned the 5-star Dao Saint Song Kuan Wu. He was ready to kill him and destroy the sacred fire sect. Please visit the website Yunlai Pavilion or visit the website directly. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1437. 5-star Dao Saint. The moment Song Kunwu appeared, Yao Yan's expression changed. He never expected that not only did Yi Chenfeng have a 4-star Dao Saint by his side, he even had a 5-star Dao Saint protecting him. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. Senior Tsong, end the battle and kill Yao Yen. Yi Chenfeng urged via voice transmission. Alright, leave it to me. Song Kunwa's figure moved and appeared in front of Yao Yen, as if he had teleported. He stretched out his aged right hand that was filled with Dao Insight and pressed it towards Yao Yan's chest. He broke the Dao Insight attack that Yao Yen blasted out with a single palm strike and forced Yao Yen to retreat over 10 meters. While Song Kunwu and Yao Yen were fighting intensely, Yi Chenfeng used his sword steps and appeared beside the fire qilin. Together with the fire qilin, they attacked the severely injured 5 elements sacred flame. Bang! Under the attacks of Yi Chenfeng and the fire qilin, the 5 elements sacred flame was destroyed once again. Primal Chaos Divine Wood, devour! While the 5 elemental sacred flame was forcefully reforming his sacred body, Yi Chenfeng summoned the Chaos Divine Wood. He controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to devour the severely injured and weakened 5 elemental sacred flame. He wanted to forcefully suppress it. After being devoured by the primal Chaos Divine Wood, the 5 elements sacred flame sensed danger and burned its sacred body to resist the primal Chaos Divine Wood. However, its injuries were too severe, and the primal chaos divine wood was its nemesis. It couldn't resist the primal chaos divine wood at all and was restrained by the 5 colored roots in its sacred body. Its sacred body was constantly being devoured by the primal chaos divine wood. Fire Qilin, go and help Lei Yi kill Qianyi. When the primal chaos divine wood was devouring the 5 elements' sacred flame, Yi Chunfeng ordered loudly. Alright. The Fire Qilin let out a roar as it charged toward Qianyi, who was being completely suppressed by Lei Yi. It continued to attack him fiercely, worsening his injuries. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Seeing that Qianyi was heavily injured and was no match for Lei Yi, a series of ear-piercing sounds rang out. Several phantom assassins with slender figures wearing black martial arts suits and silver masks appeared. They held sharp swords in their hands and attacked Lei Yi. Myriad lightning danced suddenly attacked by the phantom assassins. Lei Yi conjured the great Tao and transformed it into a sea of lightning. Large amounts of lightning surged out of his body and attacked the phantom assassins who were close to him like dancing snakes. Bang bang bang. Being attacked by Lei Yi's ultimate move, the bodies of the phantom assassins were directly shattered by the terrifying wild lightning, turning into a bloody mist. 10,000 kills. When Lei Yidong killed the phantom assassin, a crack suddenly appeared in the ground beneath him. A woman in a dark red martial arts suit, holding a pair of invincible saint weapons, swallowed the blood qi in the air and launched a fatal attack at Lei Yidong, wanting to injure him severely. Ghost King Thunder Region Lei Yi had broken through to become a 4-star Tao Saint, and his strength was far greater than the experts of the Central World. He had sensed the danger in advance and used the Thunder Race's strongest move to attack. A lightning field that seemed to have come from the underworld sucked away 1/10 of his Tao power. With a power that could crush all living things, it blasted towards the woman in red, whose expression changed slightly. Boom! The Ghost King lightning domain exploded, and the terrifying power instantly shattered all of the great killing moves that the red-robed woman had continuously unleashed, and blasted into her body, tearing apart her defenses, blasting her from mid-air and smashing into the ground, creating a deep crater. Meiho, looking at the woman who was heavily injured by the Ghost King lightning domain and lying in the crater, Lei Yi recognized her. She was the legendary controller of the Phantom Assassins, the Nirvana Heavenly Realm expert, Meiho. Roar 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 roar. When Lei Yi heavily injured the Demon Queen, the Fire Qilin's enormous body ceaselessly exerted force as it smashed towards the heavily injured Qianyi, shattering his numerous hands of Tao insight and shaking him to the point he retreated repeatedly, and he practically lost the ability to resist. It was over. The Fire Qilin heavily injured Qianyi, and Lei Yi attacked him with the sacred Thunder Sword, wanting to end his life in one move. Explode. At this moment, Yao Yan, who was fighting fiercely with Song Kunwu, took a deep look at Qianyi, whose arm was shattered and who was powerless to resist. He lightly spat out a word, conveying an important message to him. In the next moment, a powerful explosive force spread out from Qianyi's body. When Lei Yi and the Fire Qilin were close to him, he suddenly self-detonated his heart meridians, delivering the most fatal blow to them. Although Lei Yi and the Fire Qilin had sensed the danger and dodged in advance, Qianyi had reached the limit of the Nirvana Heavenly Realm, and the power of his self-detonation was extremely great. Lei Yi and the others were heavily injured, and their bodies were sent flying. The Phantom Assassins attacked with all their might. Meiho seized the opportunity when Lei Yi and the Fire Qilin were injured and ordered the Phantom Assassins to assassinate them. 10,000 Calamity Flag, Chaotic Void. Although Lei Yi was not lightly injured, his attacks were still fierce. As he controlled the terrifying Tao energy to fuse into the myriad Calamity Flag, just as he was about to shake it, the space around him and the Fire Unicorn's bodies became chaotic. Any Phantom Assassin that got close to them were all crushed by the myriad Calamity Flag's power, and not even their bones remained. Yao Yan, your momentum is gone. Accept your fate obediently. Yi Qinfeng controlled the primal chaos divine wood and successfully swallowed the 5 elemental sacred fire. He turned back and attacked Yao Yan together with Song Kunwu, wanting to kill him and eliminate a huge threat. Feng Chen, do you really think that you have everything under your control? Yao Yan didn't panic in the face of danger. Today I will let you see Ai's true strength. As he spoke, Yao Yan released the mysterious power in his body and transferred it into his body. When Yao Yan released the mysterious power from the Demon Lord's bloodline, the god-devouring brain could clearly feel that this power was the Demon Lord's bloodline. What is the relationship between Yao Yan and the ancient Demon Lord in the Devil Mountain? This is the Demon Lord's projection. Could it be that there is a clone of the Demon Lord hidden in Yao Yan's body? Or is he a clone of the Demon Lord? When Yi Qinfeng was guessing the relationship between Yao Yan and the ancient Demon Lord, the god-devouring brain saw the Demon Lord's projection in Yao Yan's body and vaguely guessed Yao Yan's identity. It seems like the ancient Demon Lord and the 8 divergent divine country have been plotting against the central world for a long time. However, if I can kill Yao Yan, I can break one of the ancient Demon Lord's arms and disrupt their plans. Primal Chaos Divine Beast, Golden Clear Dragon Blood Lion, come out! Thinking of this, Yi Qinfeng summoned the 2 saint beasts and attacked Yao Yan together, wanting to kill him. At this time, Lei Yi and the Fire Qilin stabilized their injuries and rushed over. They used all their strength to attack Yao Yan. Terrifying attacks shook the heavens and the earth. In an instant, the space around Yao Yan collapsed. It's useless. Ants like you won't be able to injure me. The ancient Demon Lord's projection completely appeared in Yao Yan's body. It isolated the space and dissolved Yi Qinfeng's, Song Kunwu's, and the others' attacks. True Devil Heaven arts forcefully blocking the attacks of Yi Qinfeng and the others, Yao Yan's body continued to emit terrifying demonic shadows as they rushed towards Yi Qinfeng and the others, injuring the 2 saint beasts and Yi Qinfeng with a single attack. You forced me to use my final trump card. Even if you die, you can be proud. Yao Yan, who was surrounded by devil qi, seemed to have changed into a different person. His terrifying strength brought a fatal threat to Yi Qinfeng and the others. Visit Gathering Cloud Pavilion or visit the website directly. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1438. Senior Tsang, I'll lend you the 9 dragons' jade annulus. Yi Qinfeng ignored his injuries and appeared beside Song Kunwu with sword steps. He then lent the 9 dragons' jade annulus to Song Kunwu. Roar! Roar! 6 deafening dragon roars resounded. 6 terrifying, murderous dragons with invincible Tao might collided with the phantoms of true devils that Yao Yan had conjured using the true devil heavenly incantation, forcibly blocking his ultimate killing move. Demon Emperor's Furnace, suppress everything. When Song Kunwu and Yao Yan were fighting, Yi Qinfeng continuously spat out blood essence into the Demon Emperor's Furnace, activating the purple-eyed profound rhino's soul. He controlled the Demon Emperor's Furnace to grow bigger and release a terrifying force. B68 The suppressive force suppressed Yao Yan's body and weakened his attack. Although Yao Yan's combined strength with the ancient demon phantoms was terrifying, his attacks were still restrained when he was attacked by 2 supreme-grade sage artifacts at the same time. His killer moves were weakened by the suppressive force released by the Demon Emperor's Furnace and couldn't threaten Yi Qinfeng, Song Kunwu, and the others. 1,000-layered precipice array restrict. Yi Qinfeng was determined to kill Yao Yan, who was hiding a huge secret. When Song Kunwu, Lei Yi, and the others besieged him, he summoned thousands of array flags and formed the 1,000-layered precipice array with extremely strong defensive power. It restricted the entire space and sealed off Yao Yan's escape route. With his escape route sealed, Yao Yan's expression changed slightly. However, he didn't break out because of his powerful strength. He executed the heavenly fire triple transformation and ignited the 3 great flames in his body, raising his strength to the peak. Borrowing the power of the ancient demon phantoms, he interweaved hundreds of sword lights that tore through the sky. They were like blooming lotuses as they shattered the attacks of Yi Chunfeng and the others, forcing them to retreat. Chaos Divine Wood, 9 Dragons Portrait, Kunwu Realm, 1000 Calamity Flag, Black Raven Sacred Flag. Yao Yan's attacks were too ferocious. Yi Chunfeng and the others couldn't get close to him. However, they had treasures on them. Under the attacks of several great sage artifacts, Yao Yan's attacks were gradually suppressed. His injuries started to worsen, and a trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Black Devil Sacred Flame, Devil incinerates the world. Yao Yan roared. Scorching black sacred flame gushed out from his body like 1,000 layers of waves, burning the sky, resisting the attacks of Yi and the others' attacks. Wrath of Goddess. The black demonic holy flame approached. Yi Chunfeng immediately used Wrath of God's punishment, shattering the wave-like black demonic holy flame. In the next moment, Song Kunwu suddenly closed in on Yao Yan and used the extremely powerful Empyrean art to fight him in close combat. Song Kunwu was a 5-star Dao saint, and the Vast Heaven art was a great killing technique that had been passed down in Vast Heaven Palace for countless years. Under his full-strength attack, he was evenly matched with Yao Yan, and was able to restrain the fiend arts that the primordial fiend lord kept unleashing. Ghost King Thunder Domain, Primal Chaos. 5 elements light, fire, Kylan life and death. Board Wild. Song Kunwu and Yao Yan were fighting in close combat. Lei Yi and the other 2 saint beasts besieged Yao Yan. At the same time, they executed their killing moves to attack Yao Yan's body. Yao Yan's defense was forcibly broken under the attacks that were filled with destructive power. At this time, Yi Chunfeng took a step forward and suddenly approached Yao Yan. With one hand, he summoned the Dao Sea formed by the 3 spirit-grade Dao diagrams, and with the other hand, he summoned a force of more than 700 million kilograms that pierced through Yao Yan's broken defense and slammed into his back. Gotcha! Although the primordial fiend lord had neutralized most of the attacks, Yao Yan still suffered heavy injuries. His entire back was badly mutilated, and a large number of bones were shattered. Demon Tharch Furnace Fall. After successfully injuring Yao Yan, Yi Chunfeng immediately controlled the Demon Tharch Furnace to shake off the mid-grade saint artifact, Sage Sovereign Cauldron, and ruthlessly fell down, forcing Yao Yan, who was unable to dodge, to defend with all his strength. Empyrean Art 16D0BR. When Yao Yan borrowed the power of the primordial fiend lord to defend against the Sage Sovereign Cauldron, Song Kunwu executed the strongest move he knew. He blasted out a series of killing moves that could destroy the sky, continuously attacking Yao Yan's body. His chest caved in and he was forced to retreat step by step. His entire body was almost shattered. Fiend Lord, help me! With his life hanging by a thread, Yao Yan burned the primordial fiend lord's phantom and forcefully suppressed the injuries on his body, wanting to break out of the encirclement and escape. Yao Yan, this will be your grave. Obediently accept your fate. Yi Chunfeng didn't give him a chance to escape. He quickly gave an ancient jade peach that was close to 300,000 years old to the strongest, Song Kunwu. After consuming the ancient jade peach, Song Kunwu instantly recovered the Dao energy that he used to control the 9-dragon jade annulus. He blocked in front of Yao Yan and executed the Empyrean art to continue attacking him. Old man, I will send you to the afterlife first. Yao Yan, whose entire body was overflowing with demonic qi, roared. His hands that were dripping with blood quickly twisted, evolving a terrifying killing move that bombarded towards Song Kunwu. When Song Kunwu relied on his absolute strength to resolve Yao Yan's killing move, Yao Yan pushed the 9-sun battle physique to the limit. His entire body fused with the high-grade saint artifact, Black Dawn's sacred sword, and wanted to borrow the power of the Black Dawn's sacred sword to tear apart the defense. 9 Dragon Jade Annulus, 6 Dragon Absolute Kill. In a flash, Song Kuan-Wu held the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus and blocked in front of Yao Yan. When he used the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus to block Yao Yan's sword attack, he poured a large amount of Tao energy into the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus, condensing it into 6 deadly dragons that bombarded towards Yao Yan. Demon Lord, help me block. Yao Yan had already experienced how terrifying the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus was. He controlled the ancient demon lord to block in front of him, blocking the 6 deadly attacks of the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus. 10,000 Calamity Flag, Black Raven Sacred Flag, Chaotic Space. While Yao Yan and Song Kuan-Wu were fighting fiercely, Lei Yi ignored the danger and tore apart the terrifying storm of destruction. He closed in on Yao Yan, and with 2 mid-grade saint banners in his hands, he attacked Yao Yan's body and continued to worsen his injuries. I will remember this enmity. Next time, I will definitely return it 100-fold. Yao Yan didn't expect that after revealing his greatest trump card, he would still be restrained by Yi Chunfeng and the others. His injuries were getting more and more serious. He left behind a ruthless sentence, took out a fist-sized black crystal, and quickly detonated it. Come back. The instant Yao Yan detonated the crystal, Yi Chunfeng immediately teleported Song Kuan-Wu and the others into the universe realm. However, he left the indestructible sword puppet outside. Boom! The black crystal exploded, and the terrifying power destroyed everything. Space collapsed, and the 1,000-layered precipice formation that restricted the void was smashed into pieces. Just as Yao Yan borrowed the last of the ancient demon lord's power to resist the explosion of the black crystal and tried his best to break out of the encirclement, a black figure that could ignore the power of the explosion suddenly appeared. Like an octopus, it clasped Yao Yan's heavily injured body and restricted his mobility. No. With his mobility restricted, Yao Yan had to endure even more destructive attacks. He desperately counterattacked, wanting to break out before the ancient demon lord's shadow shattered. Boom! Boom! Under Yao Yan's frenzied attacks, the sword puppet that locked onto his body was blasted away. At this moment, the ancient demon lord's shadow also shattered. The terrifying destructive power gave Yao Yan a devastating blow, crazily destroying his corporeal body and destroying his vitality. Yao Yan, go to hell! Yao Yan relied on his powerful will to break out of the encirclement. When the Demon Emperor's furnace appeared, it brought along boundless suppressive power and ruthlessly suppressed his bloodied and broken body. It crushed his head, scattered his soul, and killed him. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1439. 2 days later, a huge piece of news exploded in the central world. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. The Sacred Fire Valley, a top sacred ground in the central world that had Nirvana realm cultivators and 5 elements sacred fire, was destroyed. Octahead Kingdom's Devil Might King, Phantom Assassin Organization's leader Mei Ho, and others died in the Sacred Fire Valley. The culprit was Yi Chunfeng and his people, who destroyed the Octahead Kingdom's palace and brought destruction to Octahead Kingdom. However, because Yi Chunfeng purposely blocked the news, the outside world didn't know that Yao Yan and Qian Yi, one of the top 10 wandering cultivators of the central world, also died in the Sacred Fire Valley. Otherwise, it would cause an even bigger commotion. At that moment, 16D0, the name Feng Chen, became even more famous in the central world and attracted a lot of attention. However, out of everyone's expectations, Octahead Kingdom didn't retaliate and didn't announce to the outside world that they would kill Yi Chunfeng at all costs. This made many factions smell something unusual. In the Octahead Palace. Father, how should we deal with Yi Chinfeng? Octahead Godly Emperor Qi Chengtian came to the old godly Emperor Qi Yixian's cultivation cave and told him about Yi Chinfeng destroying the sacred fire valley. Don't take revenge on Yi Chinfeng yet. According to the Demon Lord, Yi Chinfeng not only had a 4-star Dao Saint protecting him, but also a 5-star Dao Saint. Yao Yen and Qian Yi, who was controlled by the Demon Lord, also died in their hands. Qi Yixian, who was sitting cross-legged on a piece of jade that was emitting strands of spirit qi, opened his tightly closed eyes and said in a low voice, "What? Yao Yen and Qian Yi are dead?" Qi Chengtian gasped and said in shock, "Where did that little bastard come from? Why are there so many Dao Saints around him?" He knew the importance of Yao Yen. Yao Yen was a very important chess piece of the ancient demon Venerable. His fall not only disrupted the ancient demon Venerable's plan, but also caused immeasurable losses to the Octahead Divine Kingdom. "Father, how long will it take for the Demon Lord to truly awaken?" Qi Chengtian asked while suppressing his shock. Yao Yan's death had already awakened a portion of Lord Devil Lord's consciousness. However, Lord Devil Lord's injuries during the ancient war were too severe. It would probably take a few more years for him to fully recover and awaken. Taking a deep breath, Qi Yixian said, "Let that Yi Chinfeng and the others be arrogant for a while first. When Mo Ling Xing Darren recovers from his injury, it will be the time of their death. Father, should we spread the news of Yao Yan's and Qianya's deaths and borrow Yao Yan's strength to deal with Qi Chengtian?" Buqi Yixian shook his head and said, "At this critical juncture, we must not have any conflict with that Yi Chinfeng. Even more, we must not cause unnecessary casualties." Okay then. However, when he thought about the terrifying power Yi Chinfeng possessed, he knew that tolerating him was the wisest choice. Greenleaf Village was a quiet town within the Kirin Kingdom's sphere of influence. The people were simple and honest, and the scenery was pleasant. After plundering the sacred fire valley, killing Yao Yen, Qian Yi, and the others, Yi Chinfeng arrived at this place on the spirit boat. He rented a quiet little courtyard and settled down to rest. The Chaos Divine Wood refined the 2 sacred fires. After settling down, Yi Chinfeng entered the universe realm. He controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to refine the 5 elements sacred fire and killed Yao Yen to obtain the Black Demon sacred fire. Once the Chaos Divine Wood refined the 2 sacred fires, Yi Chinfeng would be able to control the 3 sacred fires and cultivate the Heavenly Fire triple layer transformation. While the Chaos Divine Wood refined the 2 sacred fires, he checked the spoils of war from killing Yao Yen and the others. High-grade sacred weapon Black Dawn sacred sword, mid-grade sacred treasure Holy Sovereign Cauldron, mid-grade sacred weapon Qianya robe, mid-grade sacred weapon Sky-breaking halberd. Other than these incomparably precious sacred artifacts, Yi Chinfeng also obtained 81 quasi-sacred swords from Qian Yi, 5 low-grade sacred swords and 31 quasi-sacred swords from the Sacred Fire Valley, 8 low-grade sacred swords and 53 quasi-sacred swords from Yao Yan's body. Including the quasi-sacred swords from the Qi Sea City, Yi Chinfeng increased the number of swords in the universe sword formation to 230 swords. Among them, 26 swords were low-grade sacred artifacts, and the rest were quasi-sacred swords. In order to increase the power of the universe sword formation to the greatest extent, Yi Chinfeng integrated the high-grade sacred weapon Black Dawn sacred sword he obtained from killing Yao Yen into the universe sword formation, causing the power of the universe sword formation to reach the limit of high-grade sacred artifacts. Just the sword formation alone was enough to kill a Nirvana Heavenly Realm Master. Yao Yen was indeed worthy of being one of the Central World's top holy sovereigns. He actually had so many holy pills and origin treasures on him. Other than obtaining a large number of sacred artifacts, Yi Chinfeng also obtained a large number of holy pills and origin treasures that were rarely seen in the Central World from Yao Yan's belongings. And there was a matured longevity fruit and a supreme-grade spirit vessel. In the end, Yi Chunfeng also found a longevity fruit that was extremely useful to Yao Yan. It could restore 10,000 years of lifespan and a supreme-grade spirit vessel. Qingfeng, who are we going to deal with next? Song Kunwu asked when he received a low-grade sacred pill from Yi Chunfeng. Leaving the central world, they headed to the abyss of hell in the East continent. After confirming that the mystery of his origin was related to the abyss of hell, Yi Chunfeng couldn't wait to head to the abyss of hell to solve the mystery of his origin. Roughly 3 days later, Yi Chunfeng fully recovered from his injuries. After 3 days of refinement, the Chaos Divine Wood had completely refined the Black Devil Holy Flame and 5 Elemental Sacred Fire. Holy Flame triple-layered transformation. With the help of the 3 sacred fires, Yi Chunfeng successfully executed the Holy Flame triple-layered transformation and forcefully raised his strength to the limit of a 3-star Dao Saint. The Holy Flame triple-layered transformation didn't disappoint him. Yi Chunfeng was very satisfied with the increase in his strength after executing the Holy Flame triple-layered transformation. With a single thought, he left the universe realm and steered the supreme-grade spirit vessel that he seized. He flew across the vast land and headed to the edge of the central world. Yao Yan's spirit vessel had been refined and modified by him time after time, so its flying speed was extremely fast. Yi Chunfeng only used 4 days to cross the vast land, pass through the space restriction, and return to the eastern continent. What is that? Looking at the spirit vessel that flew out of the 9 chasm, many experts from the other continents who were preparing to enter the 9 chasm were deeply shocked and exclaimed. Yi Chunfeng didn't care about the exclamations outside. He steered the spirit vessel and quickly disappeared from the 9 chasm, heading straight for the abyss of hell. After another 3 days, the spirit vessel appeared at the edge of the abyss of hell. B-68 Yi Chunfeng kept the spirit vessel and flew towards the abyss of hell alone. More than 10 Emperor-level experts with extraordinary aura flew out from the abyss of hell and intercepted him. Stop! The abyss of hell has been sealed. Outsiders are not allowed to enter. An old man with snow-white hair and a bone staff in his hand warned loudly. Did Blood River ask you to seal this place? Looking at the Emperor-level experts who were sealing the entrance to the abyss of hell, Yi Chunfeng guessed their identity and asked in a low voice. Your Excellency is... Hearing Yi Chunfeng mention Blood River, the white-haired old man and the others were surprised. The way they looked at Yi Chunfeng was constantly changing. Who am I? Don't you already know? After saying that, Yi Chunfeng's body flashed and disappeared before their eyes like a bolt from the blue. He broke into the abyss of hell, which was full of hidden dangers. Yun Lei is going to start sorting out the plot and strive to end the dueling spirit continent perfectly. Starting tomorrow. Mobile reading home, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1440. Teleport. Entering the abyss of hell, Yi Chunfeng immediately crushed the teleport stone and teleported directly to the abyss of hell. Arriving at the 2 teleportation circles, he used the one on the right to enter the deepest part of the abyss of hell. Purple-eyed rhino soul, where is the inheritance of the immortal you spoke of? Yi Chunfeng asked as he looked at the gloomy space in front of him that was filled with floating will-o'-the-wisps. He summoned the furnace of the demon emperor and awakened the purple-eyed mystic rhino. The inheritance of the immortal is in the deepest part of the abyss of hell. Looking at the familiar environment, the purple-eyed rhino soul said. Purple-eyed rhino soul 111. Other than the inheritance of the immortal, what other opportunities are there in the abyss of hell? The abyss of hell was the tomb of the purple-eyed rhino soul, so it was very familiar with this place. Yi Chunfeng continued to ask. In the deepest part of the abyss of hell, other than the inheritance of the immortal, there is also a powerful being of the divine race suppressed. The purple-eyed rhino soul didn't hide anything and said frankly. Yi Chunfeng, who was suppressing the powerful being of the divine race, raised his eyebrows and said in surprise, "Is the powerful being of the divine race suppressed in the abyss of hell even more terrifying than the immortal? He can't kill him, only suppress him." No, with the immortal strength, killing the powerful being of the divine race was easy, but why did he suppress him? I don't know. The purple-eyed rhino soul shook its head. Let's go, take me to the place where the immortal left his inheritance. Yi Chunfeng didn't hesitate and followed the purple-eyed rhino soul to the deepest part of the abyss of hell. What's up ahead? While flying at high speed, Yi Chunfeng discovered that a tidal wave of wind had suddenly appeared in front of him. It covered the entire space and surged towards him at an extremely fast speed. Due to the suppression of the mysterious power in the abyss of hell, the perception of the God-Eater brain was greatly affected. He was unable to detect the black tidal wave of wind immediately. That was the black spirit tide. It was a spirit tide formed from the lingering souls of the ancient war. It was quite powerful. Even an ordinary Nirvana realm expert would have a hard time surviving if they were swept into the black spirit tide. The purple-eyed rhino soul glanced at the black tide-like storm from afar and said, "The purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul. In that battle, how many supreme expert of the Tian clan had died?" Yi Chunfeng asked. The 2 heavenly emperors, several heavenly venerables, and more than a dozen heavenly saints were immersed in their memories. The Sky Emperor. Even the Sky Emperor has fallen. Yi Chunfeng was quite familiar with the division of realms between the various races in the heaven domain. According to the division of strength, the heaven race cultivators were divided into Heaven Saint, Heaven Sovereign, Heaven Emperor, Heaven Master, Heaven God, and Heaven Ancestor. Corresponding to the human race cultivators were Tao Saint, Tao Sovereign, Tao Emperor, Tao Lord, Tao God, and Tao Ancestor. It was extremely difficult to cultivate to the Tao Emperor realm, and the Tao Emperor was already an overlord in the heaven region. The Emperor lineage was extremely vast, and was an extremely terrifying existence. And, if not for being hunted down by 2 heavenly emperors, my fleshly body wouldn't have been destroyed and my soul almost turned to ashes. The purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul's eyes were filled with deep hatred. If that's the case, the one suppressed in the deepest part of the abyss of hell should be one of the 2 heavenly emperors. Yi Chunfeng guessed. No, the 2 natural enemies who chased after me were killed by that deity. The one suppressed in the deepest part of the abyss of hell is not them. The purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul shook its head. No. Yi Chunfeng frowned slightly. He felt that the abyss of hell was not that simple. Moo, open for me. As they approached the black spirit tide, the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul let out a piercing roar. Like an invincible divine sword that could split the black spirit tide, it tore through the black spirit tide and brought Yi Chunfeng through the dangerous black spirit tide. Soon, with the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul leading the way, Yi Chunfeng passed through the black spirit tide and continued to fly towards the depths of the abyss of hell. The purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul was very familiar with the abyss of hell. Under its guidance, Yi Chunfeng did not encounter much danger. They arrived at the depths of the abyss of hell and saw the ruins of an ancient city that had been lost for a long time. Purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul, what is this place? Yi Chunfeng asked as he looked at the ruins of the ancient city shrouded in black fog. That ancient city was the place where the deity suppressed the powerful beings of the divine race. The purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul said, "But there are many restrictions in the ancient city. Even I have never been in, so I don't know what is inside. But the deity's inheritance might be in there. Come, let's go take a look." With that, Yi Chunfeng and the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul flew towards the ruins of the ancient city. Soon, they arrived at a severely damaged and cracked city gate. What a terrifying restriction! Looking at the ancient city in front of them, The God-eating brain quickly deduced that there was an unimaginable restriction power in the ancient city. This restriction power was stronger than any restriction that Yi Chunfeng had ever seen before. Even the restriction power of the Demon Mountain in the Orochi Palace could not compare to this ancient city. How could they enter the ancient city? Yi Chunfeng looked at the city gate that was sealed by the terrifying restriction power. With a thought, he evolved the demonic beast. 184 He summoned the space-swallowing bug and had it devour the restriction power of the city gate. Buzz, buzz, buzz. When the space-swallowing bug devoured the restriction power of the city gate, a large amount of light suddenly appeared on the dim restriction power and attacked the space-swallowing bug at a speed several times faster than the speed of light. Space-swallowing bug, come back! The space-swallowing bug was in danger. Yi Chunfeng decisively called it back into the universe realm and quickly retreated with the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul. The moment they retreated, thousands of restriction lights hit the space they were in and directly penetrated the solid space wall. It seemed that it was impossible to force their way in. Looking at the floating light of the ancient city ruins, Yi Chunfeng closed his eyes and controlled the God-eating brain to quickly deduce the possible entrance. But the God-eating brain quickly deduced for several hours and found that the restriction power surrounding the ancient city ruins was impenetrable. There was no way to enter. Do you want me to try? Looking at Yi Chunfeng, who was frowning and trying to think of a way to enter, the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul said. Yi Chunfeng opened his closed eyes and nodded. Be careful. If there is any danger, I will send you into the universe realm. Demon Emperor's furnace become bigger. The purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul entered the Demon Emperor's furnace and controlled it to become bigger. Like a burning meteorite, it slammed into the restriction power of the ancient city gate. It wanted to use the power of the Demon Emperor's furnace to tear the restriction power by force. Buzz. Attacked by the Demon Emperor's furnace, the restriction power of the ancient city gate fluctuated. A large amount of light rushed in and continuously attacked the Demon Emperor's furnace. In the blink of an eye, cracks appeared on the surface of the supreme-grade sacred treasure Demon Emperor's furnace, and the purple-eyed profound rhinoceros soul was severely injured. Universe realm, withdraw. At the critical moment, Yi Chunfeng controlled the universe realm to send the severely injured Demon Emperor's furnace into the universe realm to prevent it from being destroyed by the ancient city's restriction power. This restriction power was so strong that it could even destroy supreme-grade sacred treasures. Witnessing the scene just now, Yi Chunfeng couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. He was very clear about the hardness of supreme-grade sacred treasures. He estimated that only the legendary true spirit sacred treasures could destroy them. However, the restriction in front of him could easily shatter the demonic emperor's furnace. This made him surprised by the remarkable ability of the person who set up this restriction. How could he get in? Yi Chunfeng looked at the restriction power that could kill him in seconds and thought hard about how to get in. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Collect button below to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1441. Chaos Divine Wood. After thinking for a while, Yi Chunfeng summoned his natal treasure, the Chaos Divine Wood. He controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to carefully approach the restriction sealing the ancient city's entrance. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. If this ancient city's ruins are related to my background, then the Chaos Divine Wood should not be attacked. Yi Chunfeng muttered to himself. The God-Eater brain, which was rapidly deducing, was paying attention to the changes in the ancient city's entrance restriction. Once the Chaos Divine Wood was attacked, he would immediately recall it. Buzz. When the Chaos Divine Wood touched the ancient city's entrance restriction, the floating restriction became slightly restless, but it did not attack the Chaos Divine Wood. 5b4 Chaos Divine Wood. Restriction break. After repeatedly testing it several times, Yi Chunfeng was completely relieved. He controlled the chaos divine wood to constantly grow bigger. It swayed its 5-colored treetop and released chaotic 5-element light, repeatedly attacking the entrance restriction. In an instant, the terrifying restriction that could shatter a supreme-grade sacred treasure was torn apart by the chaos divine wood. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and stepped on the sword, turning into sword shadows. He took the risk of passing through the restriction cracks and entered the ancient city's ruins. Yes, there's a large formation in front of him. After entering the ancient city's ruins, Yi Chunfeng found a mysterious large formation with flowing formation patterns in front of him. He quickly communicated with the purple-eyed profound rhino's soul. Yes, I can't communicate. When communicating with the purple-eyed profound rhino's soul, Yi Chunfeng found that a mysterious force had cut off his connection with the universe mirror. Not only was he unable to communicate with the purple-eyed profound rhino's soul, but he also lost contact with the chaos divine wood that he had just summoned and merged with his body. Junior, being able to enter this place means that you are fated to be here. However, entering here means that you only have 2 paths to take. Either you live or die. Just as Yi Chunfeng was trying to communicate with the chaos divine wood and the universe mirror, a deep voice suddenly sounded in the ancient formation. An old face appeared on the large formation with flowing mysterious formation patterns. It looked at Yi Chunfeng with turbid eyes. The terrifying gaze made Yi Chunfeng's heart palpitate. 5B4 I am the spirit of this formation. Looking at the old face, Yi Chunfeng vaguely guessed his identity, and said in a serious tone. Yes, I am the array spirit's old face said. Well, don't waste time. You have no choice in entering here. Okay, I'm willing to take the test. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and slowly walked towards the great array that was flowing with mysterious energy. When Yi Chunfeng walked into the array formation, the flowing array formation started to spin rapidly. He found himself in a vast and empty wilderness. Large numbers of gigantic and extremely ferocious demonic beasts were fighting and hunting in the wilderness. Ao, the appearance of Yi Chunfeng immediately attracted the attention of all the demonic beasts in the wilderness. One by one, the terrifying demonic beasts let out extremely ferocious roars and flew towards Yi Chunfeng with terrifying demonic chi. They wanted to tear apart and devour Yi Chunfeng, who had trespassed into their territory. Sword step. Although Yi Chunfeng couldn't borrow any external force or use any treasures in the formation, his foundation was extremely deep. His body was comparable to a low-grade saint artifact and a mid-grade saint beast. Facing the ferocious demonic beasts, he didn't retreat. Instead, he used the sword step to meet them. He interweaved sword patterns and fought with the demonic beasts in the wilderness. With one step, tens of thousands of swords shot out. The terrifying sword Dao patterns were like winding lightning. They constantly pierced through the demonic beasts that got close to him and tore them into pieces. Blood splattered all over the ground. B68 Ao while Yi Chunfeng was crazily killing, an ancient barbarian elephant the size of a small mountain with a dark golden body and hair like fine needles appeared. It stepped on the ground and emitted a buzzing sound. It exploded with a shocking impact and charged towards Yi Chunfeng. Super tyrannical kick. When the ancient barbarian elephant attacked, Yi Chunfeng, who was covered in blood, leaped into the air and used a powerful kick. With one step, heaven and earth were suppressed and all living things wailed. The tyrannical kick was extremely heavy. It directly stomped the ancient barbarian elephant that was the size of a small mountain into the hard ground. All the bones in its body were instantly shattered. Blood gushed out like a fountain as it died on the spot. After stomping the ancient barbarian elephant to death, Yi Chunfeng used the sword step and faced the demonic beasts that were attacking at extreme speed. He moved towards the depths of the wilderness. True dragon bloodline, ignite. Although Yi Chunfeng was powerful, there were too many demonic beasts in the wilderness. He fought fiercely for more than 8 hours and killed his way to the depths of the wilderness. The Tao power in his body was severely exhausted. He quickly ignited his true dragon bloodline to amplify his Tao power and continued to fight. When Yi Chunfeng killed his way to the end of the wilderness, he found an endless swamp. At the end of the swamp, he saw a spatial black hole sealed with a powerful restriction. This spatial black hole seemed to be the only exit out of this wilderness. Whoosh! Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and adjusted his breathing. He used the sword step and flew into the air. He killed the flying demonic beasts that were attacking him while flying towards the spatial black hole above the swamp. Ong! Suddenly, a deafening beast roar came from the blood-soaked swamp. The terrifying sound wave pierced the sky and bombarded Yi Chunfeng's body. Heaven-rending hand, the terrifying beast roar came. The 3 spirit-grade Tao diagrams that were constantly evolving above Yi Chunfeng's head immediately transformed into a huge hand that covered the sky. The palm shattered the terrifying sound wave. In the next moment, the blood-red swamp violently rolled. A huge black tortoise with a dragon head, tortoise body, snake tail, and 4 limbs that were like pillars that supported the heavens appeared. It roared loudly at Yi Chunfeng and spat out terrifying demonic light, wanting to shatter Yi Chunfeng. Mid-grade Saint Beast Black Tortoise. Feeling the strength of the black tortoise in front of him, Yi Chunfeng did not hesitate to burn his god-devil bloodline. At the same time, he greatly increased his physical strength by 3 times. He swung his terrifying fists and continuously shattered the demonic light that the black tortoise spat out. Divine ability tyrannical kick. After breaking through all the demonic light, Yi Chunfeng once again stepped out with an incomparably tyrannical force. More than 350 million kilograms of force instantly gathered and shattered the space. His foot stepped on the black tortoise's hard tortoise shell, forcibly pushing the black tortoise that had risen into the air into the blood-red pool. Ong! The black tortoise was completely enraged by the heavy blow to its shell. It roared and rapidly spun its huge body. It was like a huge, spinning top, carrying the momentum of heaven and earth as it charged towards Yi Chunfeng. Dragon subduing pillars, suppressing heaven and earth. Black tortoise returned 68. Yi Chunfeng controlled the 3 spirit-grade Tao diagrams to transform into 9 dragon subduing pillars that suppressed the space around him. He continuously attacked the black tortoise's huge body and weakened its spinning momentum. Following that, Yi Chunfeng raised his attack power to the limit and transformed into the ultimate form of 3 heads and 6 arms. He waved his 6 terrifying arms and erupted with over 700 million gene of strength. He directly shook the black tortoise that was circling at an extremely fast speed and fought fiercely with it in midair. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the save button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1442. Boom, boom, boom. Yi Chunfeng's 6 arms unleashed the power of the great Tao as he fought fiercely with the ferocious black tortoise. The terrifying sounds of battle were like a huge bell that rang out between heaven and earth. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. Holy fire triple transformation. The black tortoise's strength was too terrifying. Yi Chunfeng used the 3 spirit-level Tao diagrams to the extreme and unleashed a force of more than 700 million kilograms, but he was still unable to kill it. He had no choice but to use the holy fire triple transformation to increase his strength. Whoosh, whoosh. The sky-burning holy fire, black demonic holy fire, and 5 elemental holy fire continuously spewed out of Yi Chunfeng's body. Under the amplification of the 3 holy fires, Yi Chunfeng's strength increased steadily. 5 before he surpassed the 2-star Tao Saint and reached the limit of the 3-star Tao Saint. Fortunately, the 3 holy fires were not sealed. With his strength increasing rapidly, Yi Chunfeng used the scorching holy fires to break through heaven and earth with his fist. He continuously shook the black tortoise and continued to fight it head-on in mid-air. Under the attacks of the holy fires, the black tortoise's injuries began to worsen. A clear crack appeared on the surface of its tough turtle shell as large amounts of blood seeped out. Battle form in its original form, it could not withstand Yi Chunfeng's ferocious attacks. The black tortoise immediately burned its powerful demonic powers and transformed into its most powerful battle form. It transformed into a tall and sturdy giant that was like a metal tower. It held an indestructible turtle shell and an ancient beast bone in its hand as it shattered Yi Chunfeng's terrifying fist. Blue Sky Seal. After his attacks were broken, Yi Chunfeng immediately used the Blue Sky Seal and formed a huge palm print that seemed to contain heaven and earth. It carried an unparalleled sense of oppression as it left a long streak of white light in mid-air and blasted toward the beast bone that the black tortoise was smashing toward. Heavenly Tao Disc. After this attack, Yi Chunfeng continued to derive his Tao intent. The three spirit-level Tao diagrams quickly gathered in front of him and transformed into a heavenly Tao disc that was like a black hole. It blasted toward the black tortoise's turtle shell. Boom! The two collided as a terrifying gust of wind swept out. An earth-shattering explosion could be heard clearly within a 50-kilometer radius. Furnace of desolation. When the heavenly Tao plate repelled black tortoise, Yi Chunfeng leaped into the air and turned into a desolation furnace with innate Tao patterns. Like an ancient divine mountain, he plummeted down from the sky and crashed onto black tortoise. Ong ong ong. Feeling the terrifying might of Yi Chunfeng's desolate furnace of heavens, the black tortoise incessantly burned its demonic power and used its extremely strong defensive tortoiseshell to defend. Kacha. Yi Chunfeng's desolate furnace of heaven slammed into the tortoiseshell. The terrifying power shook the tortoiseshell, causing fine cracks to appear on the tortoiseshell. Waves of power beyond the black tortoise's imagination surged into its arms, causing its skin to split open and its body to sink down. Dragon subduing stake. The desolate furnace of heaven that injured the black tortoise and continuously transformed above Yi Chunfeng's head into a sea of Tao intent transformed into 9 dragon subduing pillars that rapidly descended. They successively smashed onto the tortoise shell that the black tortoise held high above its head, directly smashing it into the blood-soaked Wang Zhejiang from mid-air. Everlasting holy water, ice seal. As the black tortoise fell into the Wang Zhejiang, Yi Chunfeng immediately controlled the everlasting holy water to break out of his body and enter the raging Wang Zhejiang, instantly freezing the Wang Zhejiang. Large amounts of cold energy constantly drilled into the black tortoise's blood-stained body. Sacred thunder of purple beginnings, compression. When the furious black tortoise shattered the Wang Zhejiang that was frozen by the everlasting holy water and returned to mid-air, Yi Chunfeng compressed the sacred thunder of purple beginnings into an extremely thin lightning needle and shot it towards the black tortoise. 111 Puff. The lightning needle pierced through the cracks of the tortoiseshell and into the black tortoise's strong right arm before exploding. The terrifying destructive power blasted the black tortoise's arm into a bloody mess and blood splattered everywhere. Bronze sword spirit, kill it for me. As the black tortoise howled in pain, the bronze sword spirit broke out of Yi Chunfeng's sea of soul and fused with the 3 spirit-level Tao diagrams. It released a terrifying Tao might that was like a cold star that struck the black tortoise. Under this sword, even the blazing sun was dimmed. The pitiful sword power once again hacked the black tortoise down from the sky. It fiercely smashed into the ice frozen by the everlasting holy water, creating a huge crater in the huge ice. True Qilin Seal Doomsday Calamity Absolute Sword Black Dragon Yi Chunfeng did not give the black tortoise a chance to catch its breath. He constantly urged the 3 spirit-level Tao diagrams to evolve a terrifying killing move that continuously attacked the black tortoise's huge body. Under his all-out attack, the sun, moon, and stars changed color and the myriad of yin and yang trembled. Vertigo technique. As the black tortoise was bombarded by layers upon layers of terrifying attacks, the soul force in Yi Chunfeng's mind erupted, forming a terrifying vertigo. It was like a heavy hammer that smashed into the black tortoise's sea of soul, causing it to feel as if its head was being pierced by needles. Bronze sword soul, absolute sword annihilation. When the black tortoise's reaction slowed down, Yi Chunfeng fused the three spirit-level Dao diagrams into the bronze sword spirit, activating the strongest power of the bronze sword spirit. It evolved into a chilling, killing intent that pierced through the sky, mercilessly stabbing into the black tortoise's head. Pung! The black tortoise's head was pierced through by the bronze sword soul and heavily fell onto the ice. In the next moment, the black tortoise's huge body became illusory and gradually disappeared. At this time, the seal that sealed the black hole disappeared. Yi Chunfeng adjusted his breathing briefly, then flew into the black hole using the sword step. He arrived at a majestic shrine that was several dozen meters tall and supported by 108 stone pillars with coiling dragons. In front of this temple sat a man that was both real and illusory. He was shrouded in a black light, making it impossible to see his appearance clearly. Sensing Yi Chunfeng's appearance, this man who had been meditating for an unknown number of years suddenly opened his eyes. His two eyes were like endless stars, piercing into Yi Chunfeng's eyes. "Defeat me and you will be able to enter the temple." This man shrouded in black light suddenly spoke and stood up. When the black light gradually dissipated, Yi Chunfeng saw this man's appearance clearly. His eyes couldn't help but contract as he revealed a look of disbelief. This was because he realized that this man's appearance was exactly the same as his. It was impossible to tell which was real and which was fake with the naked eye. Could it be that he had to defeat himself in the second trial? Yi Chunfeng had challenged himself once and knew the difficulty of challenging himself. Furthermore, he couldn't rely on external forces this time and could only rely on his own abilities. It was even more difficult. Swish! There was an ear-piercing sound as the black-robed man flew over with sword steps. He launched a thunderous attack at Yi Chunfeng. Terrifying sword Dao patterns continuously attacked Yi Chunfeng's body. As expected, the second trial was to challenge himself. When he saw that the black-robed man actually grasped the sword steps, it confirmed Yi Chunfeng's guess. He quickly deduced the heaven and earth great Dao and shattered the incoming sword Dao patterns as he engaged in an intense battle. One-line sword cleave. When Yi Chunfeng broke the black-robed man's sword steps attack, his entire body turned into an invincible sword. There was an ear-piercing sword light as he turned into a sword light and thrust forward. Sacred fire triple transformation. When Yi Chunfeng's sword pierced the black-robed man's chest, 3 sacred fires gushed out from his body. While increasing his strength, they turned into a flaming sword and forced Yi Chunfeng to retreat. PFFF. Caught off guard, a large amount of sacred fire power blended into Yi Chunfeng's body and damaged his meridians. A trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Yi Chunfeng was injured. Mobile reading home, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Collect button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.